It's the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks.
It is a beautiful 71-degree day here in the New York area. We welcome you to Madison Square Garden. And here come the New York Knicks, greeted by better than 19,000 on hand for Game 2 of this best-of-5 playoff series between the Knicks and the Cavaliers. And we welcome you to the start of our extensive playoff coverage here on NBC. Doubleheader today, tripleheader tomorrow, plus Matt Dukas. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Matt. Well, in Game 1 of this series on Thursday night here at the Garden, it was a rout for the Knicks over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kind of unusual for the Knicks, who don't blow out people, and uncommon for the Cavaliers, who usually keep the score down. Why the thorough dismantling? Well, we talked about that with both coaches.
I thought the intensity and the effort, all the intangibles, that go into, I think, making a successful game were there.
New York came into the game understanding what the playoffs were going to be about. It was one team that was on a mission from the beginning of the game, and the other team came out and was tentative in how they approached the game. It was 12 minutes of one Cavalier team and then 36 minutes of a completely different team.
And the Knicks' main mission was to take Mark Price out of the game. And take a look at this smothering New York defense. Every time Mark Price tries to use a high screen, the Knicks want to double team him and make him pick up his dribble. New York is bound and determined to keep Price from hurting them. And if the Cavaliers have any chance at all today, Mark Price will have to be a scoring threat. And above all, he must take care of the ball.
And Matt, to make matters worse, Mark Price still hobbling, bothered by that bruised heel. So coming up, it's the Knicks and the Cavaliers. We'll be back with the lineup in a moment.
Racing is Kenny Wallace and the Red Dog Thunderbird, turning speedways into dog tracks.
Perhaps more inspiring than its 210 horsepower engine is its 210 watt stereo system.
Put your head on my shoulder.
The all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi. The new thinking in automobiles.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company. A company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism, peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. By the Prudential, peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. And by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Back at Madison Square Garden, the 124th consecutive sellout on hand. A look at the Cleveland Cavaliers starting lineup. Bobby Phills and Mark Price in the backcourt. And the Cavaliers hoping to get Price going, coming off the 1 of 6 the other night. Hot Rod Williams, Tyrone Hill, and Chris Mills, an ineffective front line in game number 1. Mike Fratello hoping for more here today. For a Cavalier club that won both its meetings against the Knicks here at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with their usual starting lineup, Derek Harper and John Starks at the guard. Starks coming off an outstanding all-around game, although he did not do it in the scoring column. And up front, Patrick Ewing, Charles Smith, and Charles Oakley. Both Smith, Oakley came up very big against the Cavalier forwards on Thursday night. And there is Pat Riley. He's won more playoff games than any other coach in the history of the NBA. And Mike Fratello, a man who has done it once again this season with a team decimated by injuries. And right here, we'll check in with the Dean of Sideline Reporting, Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, thanks, Marv. I spent some time in the Knicks locker room, very confident, very focused group. I talked to Patrick Ewing. Patrick said that the reason that they were so focused and confident is that their goal was not just to make the playoffs, but their goal was to win a championship. I asked him if he watched any of the games last night. He said he did watch the Chicago-Charlotte game. And he talked to his friend Alonzo Mourning after the game and told me he was upset because he thought that Chicago got away with one. They stole one there. So, as you can see, as focused as the Knicks are, they also, in the corner of their eye, are watching those Chicago Bulls. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, what a performance by Michael Jordan last night. The officials, Tommy Nunez, Jack Neese, and a name familiar to fans of both the Knicks and the Bulls, Hugh Hollins. The Knicks controlling the opening tip. Ewing played by Williams. Off the double team, the pass broken up.
Well, right away, Tyrone Hill kind of faking and playing a game with Patrick Ewing. Came hard and got the deflection. Mike Fratello and his staff very much concerned that the Cavaliers did not match that intensity that the Knicks came out with the other night.
Mills for Hill. So Tyrone Hill, who had a 2-for-10 game and was yanked early third quarter, gets right to it at the start. The Knicks shooting 63% in game one. That's their best shooting performance of the season. Ewing. And the game is tied at 2. The Knicks also out-rebounded Cleveland 41-28. The Cavaliers shot only 39%, and their shot selection was uncharacteristically poor. This is a team that usually takes smart shots. Here is Mills driving the lane. So Mills, who was also very quiet on Thursday night, able to get right to it.
That out of the post-up for Bobby Phills, where the Cavaliers feel they have a little bit of an advantage inside against Stark.
Oakley tried to save it. Last touch by the Knicks, so the Cavaliers will get it back. Cleveland also had 2 stretches of 6 minutes apiece of not hitting a field goal. And what killed them was a 15-0 run by the Knicks in the third quarter. The Knicks went 13 of 16 from the field in the third quarter.
That's the first time that the Cavaliers have gone to a pick-and-roll situation, trying to keep the floor spread.
John Starks hammering the 3. John Starks, during the regular season, set a new NBA record for most three-pointers with 212. He did average taking 8 three-pointers per ball game. And a foul is called on the Knicks.
Well, Patrick Ewing getting open on the baseline as Tyrone Hill got caught in the lane, as he has a nice feeling getting that first jumper to go down, as the Cavaliers want to get up on Patrick Ewing and challenge all of those shots.
A foul called on Charles Smith. Rod Williams giving the Cavaliers a 6-5 lead. Rod Williams has had good games against the Knicks this season. That's a travel on Oakley.
Well, you can see it in the legs of the Cavaliers early in this ballgame. Bodies are much more alive, much more into it. Oddly enough, they were right in that ballgame in the first quarter on Thursday night. Then they really went to pieces in the second and third.
There's a 27-24 lead for the Knicks after one on a three-pointer at the buzzer by Charles Oakley. Reach-in foul call. It's on Oakley. That is his first.
Well, it's important for the Cavaliers to get Tyrone Hill involved inside. He is their real lone inside threat. He was just 2 for 10 on Thursday, this time challenging Charles Oakley in trying to get the ball to the basket. Tyrone Hill had a lot of good scoring opportunities the other night, a couple of missed dunks, and that's what really hurt the Cavaliers, because on those misses and on those turnovers, New York was able to get out and run.
Tyrone Hill in his 5th NBA season out of Xavier of Ohio. Spent 3 years with the Golden State Warriors. This is 2nd with the Cavaliers. And made it to the All-Star team for the first time. There you see Tyrone picking up his game. The Knicks and the Cavaliers split their season series at 2 apiece. Cleveland winning both games here in New York. And the Knicks winning both games in Cleveland. The Cavs have fared well at the Garden. They have won 5 of the last 11 games. Cleveland leads 8-5. Starks played by Phils. Ewing off a double team finding Smith. Charles Smith. And his game has really picked up. You can tell that the knees are feeling fine when he goes to the basket, and that was the case on Thursday night.
Well, the Cavaliers are committed to double teaming the inside post people, and that leaves a lot of openings for the other players when they swing the ball to the other side of the floor.
Hopper called for the foul, and that will put Mark Price on the line.
There's Patrick Ewing in the post position. Mills is going to come all the way over the double team, but watch the good ball movement despite good rotations by Cleveland, but Charles Smith doesn't settle for the jumper. Little escape dribble to the baseline for the open jumper.
Mark Price sitting on his first of 2. 92% free throw shooter, one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the game. Mark Price, though, has been wrecked by injuries this year. Sat out 27 games following wrist surgery, bothered by that bruised heel. He missed 3 of the last 4 regular season games and was noticeably bothered the other night. Price on a mismatch had Oakley for just a moment. Williams to the passing lane to break it up, and we are seeing a different Cavalier team here in the opening minutes.
Talking to Ronnie Rosting right before the game, and he said despite all their problems offensively, they just were not pleased with a lot of the defensive things they did on Thursday. They've come out and shown that they're capable of doing it here today.
And hitting their shots at the start. Hot Rod Williams with a second field goal. Cleveland leads 12-7. And away from the ball, the foul is called. Smith involved with Mills, who hit the floor, and the foul is called on Charles Smith.
Take a look at Charles Smith trying to be very physical in establishing that position inside, but over-aggressive, knocking Chris Mills to the floor. That'll get Anthony Mason quickly into the ballgame as Charles Smith has 2.
Charles Smith usually picks up early fouls. You see he averages just under 4 fouls per game, among the leaders in that department. Cavaliers with the ball. They lead 12-7. Oakley broke that up. And last touch by Cleveland.
And the Cavaliers really are not putting so much pressure on themselves in the early part of this ballgame. Normally they like to use up about 20 seconds of the shot clock before they shoot. That's a very slim margin of error. They're looking for the first good shot so far.
Starks for 3. Mills on the back tap, and it's handled by Price. And the Cleveland Cavaliers usually love to milk the shot clock. Pat Riley has been telling his club the most difficult part of it, as you see an illegal defensive indication by Hugh Hollins. Pat Riley warns that you cannot lose concentration at the end of the 24. It's a club that likes to take it to the limit in terms of the full possession. Teams will get bored out there. They'll let down at the final seconds of the 24. Here's Phil. And the Cavaliers lead 14-7.
You're right, Marv. They will play the first couple of options of a play, but you're right. They start to lose interest as the ball is moved around. Very important against Cleveland that you don't do it.
And an early timeout taken by Pat Riley. Cavaliers have hit 5 of 6 for the early lead. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
In the House, starring LL Cool J and Debbie Allen, premieres NBC Monday.
It's coming. To take cold. To take taste. To take smooth. To the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice. Now brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
Hi, I'm Cam Neely. Welcome to my workout. Let's start with a little scrimmage. Hey, come on. 1 and 2. Keep those elbows down. Remember to breathe. Now you want to get yourself right in front of the net. You know you're doing it correctly if you feel it right back in here. Let's head to the gym. Move those legs. Come on. Pump it. Pump it. In here. Stay with me. Breathe.
Back to the ice.
Now for a really good workout, try playing against a future Hall of Famer like Ray Bork. If you don't have a Ray Bork, just use whatever you have around the house.
Open the gate from the comfort of your new Galant. Introducing the Mitsubishi HomeLink system, a new level of security and convenience available exclusively on one midsize sedan. Turn on the lights. Open the garage door. HomeLink. Imagine the possibilities. From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
I'd like a junior bacon cheeseburger with 2 full strips of bacon and make it fresh.
Define fresh.
Fresh beef, fresh toppings, made right now?
By right now, do you mean right now, or right now today?
Right now, right now.
Let's get back to that fresh thing. Thinking to myself, what is it?
If you like your hamburgers made fresh, you have to come to Wendy's. Our 99-cent junior bacon cheeseburger comes with 2 strips of bacon and fresh beef hot off the grill. Only on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
Better food makes it a better value.
Mark Price very much into the flow here in the early going this afternoon. In contrast to what took place Thursday night, he was taken out of the game. Only 1 for 6, committed 6 turnovers, really struggled. And we talked about that with Cleveland coach Mike Fratello.
Sometimes the game gets down to the point where when a team decides they're taking one particular player out of the game, that player has to give himself up. The realization eventually comes that you can keep running into the wall, but if you're not going anywhere, you've got to do something else. As competitive as Mark is, he wants good things to happen for this team. They have zeroed in on him and decided he's not going to get clean looks. He's not going to get to the basket. We have to have other people as receivers. They then, in turn, have to produce.
And it was Mark Price who just picked up that hand-checking foul. Cavaliers in the midst of a 10-2 run. 5 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Mark Price has not taken a shot. Scored a couple of points at the line, but 3 assists here in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Mike Fratello is concerned that sometimes Mark Price, when he runs screen roll, Mark knows he's going to get trapped, and then Mark tries to force things, and then he'll try to split things, and that's when he loses the basketball.
Ewing with the shot clock running down. And it will be Cleveland ball. And the other problem is, of course, Mark is not his usual self because of the bruised heel. He sees things, but he can't do what he'd like to do.
But he is such a competitor. He's out there. He knows what he has to do to try to help this team win, and he's playing with that pain.
Williams with the lead pass for Hill. And this is the Cleveland team that the Knicks saw in the 2 earlier games at Madison Square Garden. They now lead 16-7. Ewing off a double team, forced shot, rebounded by Williams.
These were not the type of shots that Patrick took the other night. When he got double teamed, he waited first for that cutter, found them for a couple of easy layups. If that wasn't there, then they swung the ball around for an easy shot.
Cavaliers have hit 6 of their first 7 shots. Mills called for the travel.
Well, John Williams, who can do a lot of things on the basketball floor, but this is what he does. He's always going to drive right. He's got the quick first step, beat his man about a half a step on the dribble. That drew the defense and the easy feed for Tyrone Hill.
Mason couldn't handle that pass. Cavaliers also keeping it at their tempo. The Knicks, not noted for looking for the fast break, went to the transition on a number of occasions on Thursday night. Illegal defense for the second time against the Knicks, so it will be a technical foul.
And it's on Charles Oakley again. He was the guilty culprit on the first one. That one called by Hugh Hollins as just a little bit carelessly Charles Oakley dipped below that foul line extended, did the same thing there again. And you don't want to be making those kinds of mistakes in a 5-game series. Pat Riley was very much concerned with his team being complacent today. I think we're seeing a little bit of it so far because they had such a seemingly easy time the other night, but you've got to give the Cavaliers a lot of credit. They have taken the fight to New York.
And the Knicks were sky high. They finished the season very effectively, although both Patrick Ewing and Derek Harper missed the last 2.5 games because of injuries. Hill on the offensive board.
And Mark Price really rushed that shot. He told us yesterday he only had one good look at the basket on Thursday. He had a half a look there and he rushed it.
Price with the lead intended for Williams. Starks surprised Harper. And the Knicks have to regroup. Cavaliers 17 and the Knicks 7. Mason with the head fake. And Mason is fouled. Anthony Mason to the line. Let's check in with Ahmad, who has more on the injury suffered by Mark Price.
All right, Marv, I talked to Mark about that injury, and it's one of those things where he's at his best when he's coming off picks, stopping and starting, and those are the things that you can't do with that type of injury. So I asked him, so what can he do about it? He said the only way that he alleviates any of that pain is that he gets some rest, which at this time he has no time to rest, so he just has to go out and try to play with it the way it is. Marv?
Yes, thanks, Ahmad. Very difficult to get rest at this stage of the season. Game 3 of the series coming up Monday night in Cleveland. If there is a Game 4, that'll be Thursday in Cleveland. And if there's a Game 5, it would be back here at Madison Square Garden a week from tomorrow. Hopefully able to race it down. Starks had the baseline closed and was blocked by Phil.
Everybody in New York raving about the game John Starks had the other night in that he did not try to force things. Taking the ball to the basket, moving it. There he had Phil's up on him as the Cavaliers very much concerned with John Starks. In the times that New York beat him this year, Starks did most of the damage. They want to get up into his chest, not give him any good looks.
Yeah, Starks the barometer when he had the hot hand. The Knicks beat the Cavaliers the 2 games in Cleveland. Harper split through, but came up short. Oakley. Well, the Knicks had not hit a field goal in 5 minutes before that jumper by Charles Oakley.
The last couple of times, the Knicks have gotten what was a lucky bounce. Early in the ballgame, it was Cleveland getting all the chipped balls.
Cavaliers with a 17-10 lead. Price for Phils. Shot clock at 5. Hill thought he was fouled. Hopper on a pick and roll with Mason. Ewing surrounded. Mason with the tap to keep it alive for Oakley. Excellent defensive sequence by the Cavaliers. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Harper had a force.
Swarming defense by the Cavaliers on the double teams. Very active and very hard double teams, and then very active with their hands, forcing the Knicks into a very poor offensive sequence.
This is a Cleveland team that has lost 11 straight on the road. Mason with the steal. 3.5 remaining, first quarter. Mason spinning his way and then trying to dump it off. A foul against Cleveland. Anthony Mason, who handles the ball so well, drew the foul. Was called on Hill.
Well, Tyrone Hill moves very nicely without the ball to get that catch, and all Tyrone Hill wanted to do there was draw the foul because he caught himself right underneath the rim, and Mike Fratello down at that end of the floor had a very good look at it as Hugh Hollins has gone all the way to midcourt to tell the Czar to take a seat.
Yes, he had the same expressions I recall in his broadcast days during the course of rehearsals for openings and shows. He was very annoying. Starks. Cavaliers 17, the Knicks 12. And Mike Fratello wants a timeout. He's very upset with Hugh Hollins. He motioned to Hollins, who would not look in that direction. 3:16 left in the first quarter. The Knicks with 5 unanswered points. John Starks going to the left hand for the scoop. Cavaliers 17, the Knicks 12. We'll be back at the Garden in a moment.
Perhaps more inspiring than its 210 horsepower engine is its 210 watt stereo system.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms.
The all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi. The new thinking in automobiles.
Hey, you get a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning. You want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tinactin. Clinically proven Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough Actin Tinactin.
Mix it up. I'll block, baby.
Like they can't take this defense, baby.
Take it into the well. Got to be bigger than that.
No shot. No shot.
Don't
no
give me
shot.
that, man. What you ain't got?
You know how we do this in school.
Here we go.
With 33% more carbos than Gatorade, it's Powerade.
Here we go.
Today's harder-working engines need Castrol GTX, the motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your oil breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown.
This is the tale of one Todd Mitchell. Todd was one large citizen with an appetite to match. He'd heard the new White Burrito Supreme at Taco Bell weighed more than a Big Mac, yet had only 8 grams of fat instead of the Big Mac's 26. But how would it taste? It tasted good, real good. Where'd the fat go?
And don't forget, Taco Bell has new Border Light tacos starting at just 69 cents. Great tasting new tacos with just 5 grams of fat starting at 69 cents.
Thursday, Sean Kemp and the Sonics were super as they shut down the Lakers in their series opener. Now, LA's out to draw even. The playoffs continue next on NBC.
3:16 left first quarter, Cleveland 17 and New York 12 before the usual capacity crowd here at Madison Square Garden. Includes regulars like Woody Allen, Spike Lee, who's been low-key to this point, Tom Brokaw of NBC News, Danny Aiello, and Robin Leach, a man who has spent much time filming at the Gucas compound.
It didn't take very long.
Mark Price handling against Derek Hopper. Bobby Phills, played by John Starks. We come up on 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hill backing Oakley. Starks came over to help and was able to strip Hill, and then he gives it right back. Try to put the brakes on.
That's not the best kind of play for Tyrone Hill. Pushed off the block by Charles Oakley and then having to put the ball on the floor. That's when a player like Tyrone Hill will get himself in trouble. He has to catch the ball with at least 1 foot in the paint to be an effective low-post player.
6 turnovers for the Knicks, 5 for the Cavaliers, who were second in the NBA in fewest turnovers per game, averaging 14 a game. Mills for 3. Good hustle by Hill, but knocked it out of bounds, and we are seeing a completely different Tyrone Hill in terms of the fervor that he is expressing in this first quarter.
Well, the Cavaliers had to watch the tape of the game Thursday night yesterday, and it had to be a very painful experience. But I'm sure all Mike Fratello had to say was, look at the way the Knicks are playing. Not so much that the ball's going in the basket, just look at the effort and the emotion that they're playing with. We have to match that.
Cleveland lead is now 3, a 7-0 run by the Knicks. Oakley hitting the outside shot. He's 2 of 2. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left, first quarter. Price had it knocked away. Starks chased by Phil. 9 unanswered points by the Knicks.
All set up with the aggressive trap on Mark Price. That's what I was talking about a little earlier. Mark Price trying to make something happen when it's not there.
Cavaliers have not scored the last 8 possessions. Another bad pass. Mark Price with 6 turnovers the other night, then Price with a terrific defensive play that caused the travel by Hopper.
And that was out of frustration, out of anger on Mark Price. He felt he's getting hit hard by the New York Knicks. Even though he threw a bad pass, he felt he was fouled on the play. Here, he is just trying to hit a body in a white shirt, as he did force the turnover on Derek Harper.
Mark Price sitting down, replaced by the veteran Steve Coulter. Played well for the Cavaliers. In particular, the last week of the season filling in for Price. Hot Rod Williams got the step, and a foul is called. It is a block on Ewing. That is the first committed by Ewing.
Well, good ball movement and a perfect pass from John Starks to Charles Oakley right in the tee where all he had to do was just eye the basketball. The pressure defense by Patrick Ewing, it was Starks who knocked it loose, but the presence of Ewing forced it, and then the long outlet pass for John Starks. But it has been the main focus for New York to not let Mark Price get going. They know he's hurt. They know he's not the all-star caliber Mark Price, but they know he is still dangerous because he can shoot threes and he can make plays for people. But right now, Mark Price is a very frustrated basketball player.
Williams fouled in the act. Giving the Cavaliers a 2-point lead with a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. It's the Cavaliers 19 and the Knicks 16. Here's the trap on Hopper. Mason back to help. It's a Knicks team that went 55 and 27 in the regular season. Illegal defense against Cleveland. The Knicks finished second in the Eastern Conference to Orlando. They wound up the season winning 3 straight, 8 of the last 10. Although they won 55, Pat Riley, the first to point out it was a very up and down, rocky season. Certainly had their share of turmoil. At one point, Anthony Mason suspended for 5 games, but they feel they've shaken it all loose. They ended the season in grand style, and they opened up the playoffs with a terrific effort. Starks not able to hit the 3. Mason kept it alive, and the Knicks swing it around. Just under 1 minute left in the quarter. Oakley lost it. Here's Mills, chased by Starks, and fouled.
One of the rare fast break opportunities for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They will not run off missed shots, but off steals or turnovers like that by Oakley out near the top of the key, they will take advantage of it. And here they'll have to go to the line to get the points. It's a very difficult way to play when you don't get easy baskets in transition. You have to rely so much on your half-court execution and making jump shots. And this Cavalier team is not a good percentage shooting team. Just 44%, oddly enough. They're the second best three-point shooting team, but that's a tough way to play as well. So their easy baskets have to come from the foul line and on second shots.
Eric Hopper sitting down, replaced by Greg Anthony. Greg Anthony enjoying his finest NBA season and has been hitting the shot from downtown. It's Anthony and Starks in the backcourt with Ewing, Oakley, and Mason up front. Cavaliers 21 and the Knicks 16. Ewing. Patrick Ewing to the fadeaway for his second field goal, and it brings the Knicks within 3. Cavaliers have not scored a field goal over the last 6 minutes. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Coulter, leg block, call on Anthony.
Well, the Cavaliers not happy about not getting field goals, but they have to like the tempo, the pace, and the score of this game so far. The Knicks, who normally play below 100 points, they would like the tempo to be a little faster against a team like Cleveland. They don't want the Cavaliers hanging around.
And the Cavaliers with that leg block get the full shot clock going, down to 10 seconds remaining. Cavs have taken only 10 shots in the quarter. They've hit 6. Just not getting the shot opportunities opposed to the Knicks. 7 of 15 final seconds. Coulter rejected by Ewing. And that will do it. That's the end of the first quarter. And as you mentioned, it was Cleveland-style basketball. Cavaliers by 3. 7 turnovers apiece. Tyrone Hill turning it around. Cavaliers 21 and the Knicks 18 after 1. You are watching the NBA on NBC.
Open the gate from the comfort of your new Galant. Introducing the Mitsubishi HomeLink system, a new level of security and convenience available exclusively on one midsize sedan. Turn on the lights. Open the garage door. HomeLink. Imagine the possibilities. From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Every year, more than 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube. 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube, and Jiffy Lube offers Pennzoil. Jiffy Lube, the world's most experienced oil changers. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Genuine Draft. The original cold filtered beer. As smooth as they come, as pure as it gets. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world's a very cool place.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Patrick Ewing very much aware of the situation. A 1-4 for Stevie Calder. Look at the eyes of Patrick Ewing, aware of everything that's going on around him, ready to stay legal, ready to help out, and he is going to change this shot on Stevie Calder, who did a nice job of getting to the lane, but Patrick Ewing ever alert.
Most unusual first quarter, only 26 shots taken by both clubs. Patrick Ewing coming into today averaging just under 24 points per game. It's been a very strong all-around season. First quarter that also saw a combination of 14 turnovers, 7 apiece by the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Cavaliers have gone 6 minutes and 40 seconds without a field goal as they open up here in the second. Marv Albert, Matt Gugas, and Ahmad Rashad from Madison Square Garden as Tyrone Hill ends that quiet streak for Cleveland. And they now lead 23-18. Greg Anthony now operating at the point guard position. Hubert Davis has come on for the first time. Charles Smith up front with Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason. And the shot clock is at 6. Smith off a double team. Bobby Phills draws the foul, so the double team leading to the steal. And Charles Smith, Matt, not getting the kind of looks that he got Thursday night.
Well, it's just mainly because they're just passing the ball around the perimeter. Everybody's standing, nobody cutting. I think referee Hugh Holland's going to rule that the foul was committed before Bobby Phills was in the act of shooting, so it'll just be ball side out. Now the officials conferring there. Jack Neese holding out. Hugh Holland saying, or is he going to, I don't know, is he going to say flagrant foul? He put up two shots, but everybody lined up. So a little help from the officials conferring on the play and realizing that Bobby Phills was in fact in the act of shooting. But you know, it's one thing to swing the basketball, but when you just have stationary people, it's so easy sometimes to just move and slide and get with your man and then get around in front of you. You're able to push Charles Smith off the block. Sometimes you need some cutting through the lane to make that defense react.
Cavaliers among the best free throw shooting teams in the league. They have hit 11 of 11 at the line. They now lead 25-18. Here's the trap on Anthony. Mason's pass sailed over Smith.
Now this is what we call a delay trap. Not necessarily looking to steal a ball, just trying to make the Knicks use some clock so they're late getting into their offense. That was just a careless pass by Anthony Mason.
A minute gone by in the second quarter. Phills for Mills. Run into by Smith. And Charles Smith has taken himself out of the game by picking up an early third foul.
Well, sometimes Charles tries to be just so aggressive and so active that he loses control defensively, and that's what we've seen here in the first half. Bobby Phills posting up time and time again. He's inside against Hubert Davis now. Charles
Oakley over at the scorer's table. He will come on for Charles Smith. Phills. Handled by Davis.
And Bobby Phills has not looked comfortable in that post position. He's been getting double teamed, and some of his passes have been weak coming out of there. That time he forced the one-on-one play.
Davis, Gilbert Davis, who has had a superb season, not able to get into it the other night. The shot was not needed. The Knicks had put it away early, but Hubert able to hit from downtown his first field goal attempt, 25-21, Cleveland. Here's Phills for Hill, and it's a traveling violation.
And yet another turnover. Once the Knicks shut off the initial pick and roll for Cleveland, the Cavaliers are just not making good enough adjustments, good enough passes when the ball goes over to the weak side. Some of it has to do with New York's aggressive recovery on defense. Most of it, though, is the Cavaliers just not executing well.
Oakley back coming on for Smith. Hot Rod Williams doing a very good job on Patrick Ewing, forcing him further and further out. Those are not the shots that Pat Riley would like to see Ewing take.
And Hot Rod said he'll admit he has a tough time with Patrick Ewing. He's just not physically strong enough to battle with Ewing inside.
Tony Campbell, who just came on, was tripped up. Tony Campbell, a one-time Knick. 9.5 to go in this first half. Cavaliers by 4, and a timeout is called.
Sean Kemp and the Sonics face the Lakers. The playoffs continue next on NBC.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
Your legs take a beating all day long. They shouldn't have to take one on the ride home. That's why Chevy has the most front and rear legroom of any full-size extended cab.
It's as far as Michelin science has ever gone. Our biggest breakthrough since we invented the radial. Technology that brings us to a new level of performance, in good weather and bad. In the rain, in the snow. Technology so advanced, it even saves gas. The new energy tires with Radial XSE technology from Michelin. It's science that goes beyond magic.
So,
I have to get up early tomorrow.
yeah, me too.
Well, good night, Lisa.
Good night.
Miller Lite Ice. For the taste that goes all out when you're out.
I would have been here earlier, but I had to drop off. Lisa?
Miller Lite Ice. The night is young.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Well, it is a difficult matchup, as you mentioned, Matt, for John Hot Rod Williams going up at center against Patrick Ewing, although Hot Rod has done a good job throughout the season at center, filling in for the injured Brad Daugherty, but he's not really comfortable at that position, which he made clear to us.
Well, we had some problem earlier this season, and I went to management, and I told them, well, if you're going to play me at center, hey, I think we should rework my contract. What it's going to do is going to cut my career down short because I'm going to be playing against guys bigger than me. But if Brad back, I have nothing to say. Unfortunately, we thought Brad was going to be back, and never did. He didn't make it back.
Well, Tony Campbell with a nice reverse move. In effect, Hot Rod also wants more money for playing center, which may hit people in a strange way. You recall he signed that enormous $28 million contract. Hubert Davis with a second from downtown. The Cavaliers now lead 27-24.
From my vantage point, Marv, across the floor that time, I thought that Hubert Davis had his foot on the line. Very, very close, but they gave him the three.
We'll see if we can check it out. Mills with a bank shot, and the Cavaliers now lead 29-24. We are early second quarter. Davis and Anthony in the backcourt. Herb Williams has come on for Patrick Ewing up front with Anthony Mason and Travis Oakley. Anthony not able to hit and rebounded by Michael Cage, who was on the floor for the first time.
Now, the last two possessions, the Cavaliers went once inside to Tony Campbell, who was in effect their big guard, and the next time to Chris Mills, their small forward, and they were successful.
Coulter and Campbell at the guards. Hill with Cage and Mills on the front line. Campbell with the shot clock running down. Tony Campbell signed by the Cavs as a free agent. Spent time with Detroit, the Lakers, Minnesota, year and a half with the Knicks. And the Knicks sent him to Dallas in that trade for Derek Harper. 8-point Cleveland lead. Mason will head to the line. All right, let's check out the eyesight of Matt Gugas. I know, Matt, a tough angle. Here it is.
There's Hubert Davis on the catch. Watch that right foot right there.
Ooh. Did he step on it? Hard to tell. I thought he was on the line. Huh?
From my vantage point.
Matt, we go with you. Right. I mean, you say it. You know, it's one of those things.
And I have such good eyes.
Yes. And here's Hot Rod Williams reporting back. Tyrone Hill sits down. Mark Price returns. Coming on for Steve Coulter. 7:52 remaining in this first half. And the Cavaliers now lead 32-26. This is a Cleveland team that went 43-39 in an injury-hit season for 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. A remarkable record when you consider all the injuries that they suffered. Price with another bad pass. Recaptured, though, by Williams.
And this is where the Knicks had a lot of turnovers the other night. They had 19 of them, but on trying to outlet the ball to start fast breaks. Careless with the passes.
With the pick set by Williams, a foul is called. Pushing foul. Foul against the Cavaliers, as you see Danny Ferry check in for the first time. John Williams called for an illegal pick. Danny Ferry supplying the offense here in game number 1. He's had a couple of good games this season against the Knicks. 20 points Thursday night on 7 of 10 from the field, but involved in a tough matchup with the physical Anthony Mason. Davis coming up short this time. Oakley with the save, but handled by Campbell.
Well, both teams not smart right now offensively. They have Tony Campbell with a hot hand, but they didn't go to him on the last 2 possessions.
The ball will be given back to New York. Timeout is called. 6:51 left first half. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
When you watch your favorite action-adventure show, you won't have to sit so close to the screen. Because there's more leg room in the front of a Chevy S-Series than in most full-size trucks. Chevy trucks, like a rock.
Welcome to Tostitos. You make the call. This partier dips his fingers directly into the Tostito salsa. Is this illegal use of the hands or a perfectly legal dunk? If you said illegal use of the hands, you made the right call. Please, party by the rules.
Every milestone deserves a new look at your insurance and financial needs with your MetLife representative. Get Met. It pays.
Thanks to Sprint Business, now the world is flat. Introducing flat rate pricing for small businesses on all your long distance, even for Sprint 800 service. Enhanced fax and cellular long distance. One low flat rate for everything, all over the country, so you know just what you're paying.
Now that's simple.
Call now for flat rate pricing. 1-800-827-3700. Call Sprint Business.
what's inside your mind.
Here I come.
The danger begins. Gotcha. NBC's Sequest, an all-new episode Sunday.
A moment ago, we were talking about the many injuries suffered by Cleveland to key players. On the left, Gerald Wilkins, chatting with Brad Daugherty. Brad Daugherty recovering from back surgery. Gerald Wilkins, ruptured right Achilles tendon. The other key injury, Terrell Brandon, making it back from leg surgery. Terrell had done a terrific job filling in for the injured Mark Price. Cavaliers lead 32-26. Game 2 of the best of 5. The Knicks with a blowout in Game 1 on Thursday. Another Knick turnover. That's their 12th. Cavaliers with 10.
But both teams just awful passing right now. There's no purpose with it. Lazy passes, sloppy passes.
Ferry from 3. Campbell trying to slap it to a teammate. It will be Nick Ball.
Just to follow up on Terrell Brandon, Mark Price misses his presence probably more than anybody, mainly because Mark is not physically ready to go, but Price took so much, I should say Brandon took so much pressure off Mark, the fact that they could play together. Terrell Brandon, a big part of Cleveland's early success.
And the native of Cleveland, Charles Oakley, continues to hurt his hometown club with the outside shot. Charles Oakley played high school ball with John Jay in Cleveland. Beautiful move by Mark Price, and the Cavs lead by 6.
Well, Mark Price said, the heck with the high picks. That's not working. They've been banging me around like a pinball. That time, he just challenged Harper, daring him to put his hands on him. He blew by him in the lane.
Oakley now guarded by Cage. Campbell on Davis, then they double up. Derek Harper benefiting from the good ball movement, and it's a 34-30 Cavalier advantage.
Not to beat the dead horse, but that time the passing was crisp and sharp, and right there in the tee to load up and shoot the ball.
A Cleveland turnover leading to this. Hubert Davis finishing the break to bring the Knicks within 2 points. And the Cavaliers want a timeout. It is a 20-second timeout taken by Cleveland, and apparently now they have changed to a full.
Well, now with a little more care with the movement of the ball. Sharper passes right there where somebody can catch it in a triple threat position, and that makes playing the game so much easier in every area. And now Mark Price with yet another turnover, not able to complete it, as Mark Price now has 5 turnovers. Patrick Ewing into it as he is happy with what his ball club is doing on the floor.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
ท่าทางเหนื่อยเชียวอย่างนี้แหละต้องรื้อปรับระบบต้องหาคนช่วยเสียเงินแต่ก็ไม่ดีขึ้นใช่ว่ะอย่างนี้ต้อง IBM เฮ้ยงั้นต้องซื้อฮาร์ดแวร์เพิ่มสิไม่ใช่ IBM อ่ะเขามีบริการปรึกษาการจัดระบบเขาจะมาอยู่กับคุณจนงานเรียบร้อยเลยหุ้นผมขึ้นเลยครับขายเลยครับ
car in NASCAR Winston Cup history is back. Introducing the race-modified Chevrolet Monte Carlo.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's something I want to tell you.
What is it, son?
Well, Dad, you're my dad. And I love you, man.
You're not getting my Bud Light, Johnny.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Ray, forget it, Johnny.
Hunter is back and in love. Marry me. But when his fiancée is mysteriously murdered, he wants justice and vengeance.
Who the hell are you?
A madman on a killing spree.
Every day you don't catch me, there'll be one more girl.
Hunter breaks all the rules.
I want to kill you.
Because this one's personal. Hunter, the movie, NBC Sunday.
Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll hear from Michael Jordan a day after he led the Bulls to that overtime victory by scoring 48 against Charlotte. And we'll also talk with Nick Van Exel of the Lakers as they get set for the Sonics. That game is the second of our doubleheader today. And now a bit of news from Detroit. The Pistons made it official. It's been a foregone conclusion for a while, but recently at a news conference just a little bit ago, Doug Collins was named officially as their head coach, replacing Don Chaney. That took place earlier today in Auburn Hills. And Juwan Howard of the Bullets, formerly of the Fab Five, graduated earlier today from the University of Michigan on time with his scheduled graduating class. Howard had left school after his junior year to play in the NBA. Right now, let's head back to those hoop scholars, Marv and Matt, at the Garden.
Very gracious on the part of Bob. Thank you. 34-32, Cavaliers with the lead. Just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. I asked Doug Collins the other day, Matt, whether we would be welcome at Detroit Pistons closed practices. Price gets inside. Rebound Ewing. And it was stolen by Hot Rod Williams. There's Michael Cage. And the Cavs now lead by 4. Doug said, no question about it. I said, may I have that in writing, please? He said if NBC wants to be there for a game next year, they'll welcome us.
He'll be delighted.
4:20 to go in this first half. Here's Hopper. Nicely done by Derek Hopper. His second field goal. He has 4. And the Cavs lead 36-34.
And immediately Mike Fratello going to the end of his bench there to get Chris Mills up and ready. He did not like the way the Cavaliers rotated defensively to give that wide open driving lane to Derek Harper.
Michael Cage again. Michael Cage, who was signed as a free agent by the Cavaliers. Harper's fouled. Well, coming up next here on NBC, stay tuned for Game 2 of our NBA playoff doubleheader. It will be a Wild West matchup between two high-scoring teams, Sean Kemp and his Sonics, going up against All-Star Cedric Ceballos, Nick Van Exel, and the Los Angeles Lakers. The NBA playoff action continuing. Seattle taking on the Lakers. That's next here on NBC. So doubleheader today, tripleheader tomorrow.
I got to think you're going to see a different Los Angeles Laker team today. Cedric Ceballos could not get going in game number 1, but pretty much the way the Cavaliers came out today. Much more into it, much more ready to play basketball. I look for the Lakers to be that way this afternoon.
Cavaliers 38. The Knicks 35.
This is when you'd like to put Mark Price off the ball, let him become the shooting guard, but the Cavaliers don't have another ball handler out there.
Price trying to create for himself off the dribble. Oakley with the opening. And Charles Oakley is on fire. He has hit 4 for 4 for 8 points.
Well, he's effective from that range up at the top, and Charles has been keeping the ball moving. When he takes a little care with the pass, he has gotten the ball to the other side of the floor with some effectiveness.
Cavaliers lead by 1. Oakley is now 13 for 16 in the 2 games this surge. Bobby Phills, who was quiet the other night, now with 6 points. And the Cavaliers lead by 3. Toward the end of the season, Charles Oakley complaining about his lack of playing time. Charles, though, had not been the same since the toe surgery. Here's Phills off the steal. And the Cavaliers now lead by 5. Charles Oakley, in the final weeks of the season after coming back from the surgery, had only maybe 3 or 4 Charles Oakley-type games, but I think Pat Riley reached Charles. It's called away from the ball as Mills got involved. Mason. And Charles has come on the last few games. For more of that, let's check in with him on.
All right, Mike, before the game, I was sitting there talking in the hallway with Mike Fratello when Charles Oakley walked by, and he said, you know, I read in the paper that you said that you knew that you were in trouble when I started making jump shots. Oakley took it as an insult and told Fratello that there was plenty more where that came from, and as we've seen, there is plenty more where that came from, Marv.
Oh, the czar inadvertently motivating Charles Oakley.
Well, of course, Charles Oakley can give you jump shots, but that is not his real value to this Knicks team. It's when he plays with that emotion, the tough defense, the rebounding, the diving for loose balls. That's when he becomes a major factor for the Knicks.
Fills for three, way off. And Oakley with the rebound. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Defense called, so it will be Nick Ball with the new 24 after this technical foul is taken. Mike Fratello has to be delighted, though, with what he's seen in the first half. This is Cleveland Cavalier basketball. This is not pretty, but it's the only way this undermanned squad can play and hope to compete with virtually the rest of the NBA.
You remember John Williams got hurt in the practices right before the playoffs last season, unavailable for that 5-game series, which only went 3 against the Chicago Bulls. But that's when they decided that that's the way they would have to play. And Mike talked to his team in the beginning of the season, and everybody was on board, everybody agreed, and they've had their share of success.
That's his first miss, but Ewing is there. Cavaliers by 2. Ewing with 6 points. He has been held in check in the first half. Minute and a half remaining.
Well, the Knicks have not been a good offensive rebounding team all year long, but they are capable of doing it if they anticipate well.
Cage run into Hot Rod Williams setting up the pass with the crossover dribble. And was fortunate that Cage was hit by Oakley.
Well, with the size and power that the Knicks have on their front line, and they probably got away with a little extra shove in the back, and you can tell by the reaction of Michael Cage as he looked for some help from the officials, as it appeared that Patrick Ewing gave him a shove in the back. But the Knicks with that front line should be able to overwhelm the Cavaliers on the boards. 4th team foul against the Knicks.
Here's Cage. Wild move. Bobby Phil somehow ended up with the ball.
I think that was a pass that was intended for Bobby Phil.
Cavaliers lead by 4. 1 minute remaining in the half. Starks trying the 3. So John Starks is now 3 of 6 from the field. And Cleveland will come out of the backcourt.
A little quick shot that time by John. None of his teammates particularly happy with it, but nobody's saying anything. Pat Riley not happy with it. They don't mind when John takes him after the ball has gone inside, but when he just raises up, backs up a little bit and fires, that's not a good three-point shot.
High-point man for the Cavs. Bobby Phills had just threw it away. Charles Oakley anticipating. Phills with 10 points. In game 1, no Cleveland starter managed to hit double figures. Half minute left in this first half. Starks. John Starks brings the Knicks within 2.
And that's a good three-point shot because something started on the other side of the floor, made the defense react, and a quick swing as it was a 2-point shot, but a wide open one for John.
Down to 10 seconds in the half. Costas and the Prudential halftime report coming up. Price for 3. Final seconds. Hoffer checking the clock and then fires one high and far. At the half, the Cleveland Cavaliers 44 and the New York Knicks 42. Cavaliers trying to tie the series at 1. A series that heads back to Cleveland and the Gund Arena for Game 3. On Monday night. Stay tuned for Bob and the Prudential halftime report right after these messages.
Our house was on Pickett Street, across from a liquor store and a pool hall. But it was also near a recreation center where Mr. Fenoy was a volunteer. I always knew I could run fast, For without Mr. Fenor, I would have never known I could run so far. Every kid deserves an opportunity to play, but not every kid has one. To learn how you can help, call 1-800-929-PLAY.
You want to know about life, son? Life is like prime time in the NBA.
Either you hunt with the hounds or don't get off the porch. And when you train, you rain. Now, this activity makes you thirsty. Fortunately, the NBA has Gatorade, the sports drink the league plays on. And play on, you must. That's life. Say it with me now. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
What would it be like if everyone had the same face? The same face. Well, to get a comfortable shave, you wouldn't need a razor as flexible as the Schick Tracer. The Tracer bends to fit each individual face, leaving your unique face uniquely comfortable. The Schick Tracer. We're changing the face of shaving.
Chevy owners demand a lot from their trucks.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
But even after years of hard work, Chevys still have the highest owner satisfaction of any full-size pickup.
Like a rock,
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Hoop It Up! The world's biggest 3-on-3 outdoor basketball tournament is coming to a city near you. Men and women on all levels of playing ability can compete. Call 1-900-288-HOOP for tour dates, cities, and entry information. It's 55 cents per minute with a 3-minute maximum call length. Under 18 requires parental permission. That's 1-900-288-HOOP. This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
After losing Game 1 by 24 points, Cleveland bounces back in Game 2 at the Garden, and they lead by a basket at halftime, but a continuing bad omen. Mark Price shut down completely in Game 1. Only 5 points in the first half of this one, plus 5 turnovers. Bob Costas back with Dr. J and Peter Vesey, and we'll hear from them in a moment. The winner of the Knicks-Cavs series will play the winner of Atlanta-Indiana. The Pacers won Game 1 of that series on Thursday, and Game 2 is tonight at Market Square. Marianne Grabavoy is in Indianapolis.
Thanks, Bob. Reggie Miller says that Game 1 against the Atlanta Hawks on Thursday night was, for the Pacers, a gut check. Down by 10 points midway through the third quarter. It was the first time this season that the Pacers rallied from a double-digit second-half deficit. I asked Reggie Miller how he would characterize the win.
A win. I think Atlanta came out with a sense of purpose, and I think both teams were a little bit nervous. I think especially your first-round game. Guys tend to be a little bit nervous. You never know what to expect, and we got off to a good start, but Atlanta, like we knew the team they were going to fight their way back and took the lead by halftime, and they came out very hot in the third quarter and hit some big shots, especially threes, and I think our defense really helped us get back into the game.
We did a very poor job of executing, and we've got to execute. We can't just come down, stand, and watch one guy and let it all be an outside shot. What happened was, because of that, the clock went down on us several times. In fact, Mookie Blaylock had to take about 4 shots with the clock down to 2 or 1 seconds, and those are not going to be good shots.
Hawks forward Stacey Augmon played just 5 minutes in Game 1. He's been nursing a sprained left ankle. Wilkins told me that Tyrone Corbin will again start, with Augmon coming off the bench. The Hawks have lost their last 7 games here at Market Square Arena. In fact, the last time they went home with a win was over a year ago, March 18th of last year. Bob, back to you.
Marianne, thanks. You can see the Pacers and Hawks tonight on TNT at 7:30 Eastern Time. The best game among the 8 played so far in the playoffs was last night's Bulls-Hornets game in Charlotte. Chicago rode Michael Jordan's terrific performance to an overtime win. He shot the ball extremely well, 18 of 32, scored 48 in his first playoff game in nearly 2 years. Jim Gray spoke to Jordan a short while ago.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. The headline reads this morning, Jordan still rules. Michael, 22 months off the playoff scene, and you step in just like nothing has ever changed. How does a guy do that? The whole country's got to be wondering.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just stepping in. After 22 months, I went through 17 games during this season, and the short season that I had. And yeah, I really, it's like riding a bicycle. Just all I had to do is get used to being back in a game and seeing what the situations are, and with the intensity, the competitiveness that I have, I just enjoyed the competition factor.
You played 47 of 53 possible minutes. Can you hold up? Can you continue to do that?
I like to think that I can. The competitive side of me think that I can. I hadn't played 82 games all season, so my legs should be a little bit fresher, but I don't think that's going to be asked of me. Scottie Pippen didn't play last game because of the foul trouble that he had, but I anticipate him playing a lot more and taking some of those minutes away from him.
A day off today, a little practice. You plan to play a little golf, be with your mom. What are you going to do?
I'm just going to relax, hang out with the family, maybe play a little golf, but I'm really going to just try to get some rest and get ready for tomorrow.
Michael, thanks for taking the time with us. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Jim, Game 2 of the Bulls and the Hornets is the third game of our triple-header tomorrow here on NBC. Now, just for the sake of perspective, as great as Michael Jordan has been, he has always elevated his game in the playoffs. Look at the gap between Jordan and another truly great player, Jerry West, in terms of all-time playoff scoring average, almost a 6-point differential. And yet, Pete, you have misgivings about the way it played out last night.
As does Michael. I mean, it's great to have a guy like him who can win it by himself in overtime. He got 10 points. But they're a much better team when everybody's touching the ball early. They cannot be a championship team unless Scottie Pippen takes more than 3 shots in a game.
Well, you know, a little golf for Michael's going to be 54 holes, but I've been there playing in a series with the Nets against the Nuggets, opening up with 48 points and 45 points respectively, and only getting a split. So it was up to Kevin Lockery and our great point guard, Brian Taylor, to get Super John Williamson into the act and get Rich House Jones into the act, and we eventually won the series in 6 games, but it took balanced scoring after those first 2 games.
Pippen, of course, in foul trouble last night, played only 27 minutes, had 8 points, and as Pete said, took only 3 shots in the game. Up next, we'll talk about the second half of today's doubleheader between the Lakers and Sonics as we hear from LA's point guard Nick Van Exel. That's after this message from Prudential.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company. A company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
I was abused as a child, and now I have a son of my own. I haven't done anything to harm my baby. I never would. I know there's a better way of disciplining your children than hurting them. I love my son very much, and I don't want to hurt him, but I don't want to take any chances. Maybe you could help me. He is 2 now, and I'm afraid I would do the same thing to him as my mom did to me.
Cleveland leads New York 44-42 at the half. Game 2 today after the Knicks and Cavs is the Lakers against the Sonics. Seattle won Game 1 on Thursday by 25 against what appeared to be a lethargic LA team. But the only bright spot for the Lakers was the play of second-year guard Nick Van Exel. He scored 29 in Game 1 and had his way pretty much with Seattle's Gary Payton. Jim Gray visited with Van Exel earlier this week.
How quick are you?
Quick.
What a move by Van Exel.
Real quick. Nick the Quick.
Going to be able to shoot it going. Now he does, off balance. He hit it. He hit a 3.
You look so youthful. Do you think that maybe people mistake you for being soft?
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate me. I'm real skinny, don't weigh much, look like a little kid when I'm shaved and bald head and everything. But if they think that you're soft, then that's when you go at them.
You kind of were overlooked and passed up by several people in the draft. You went 37th. It was a big disappointment at the time, wasn't it?
No, not for me. I was glad for the opportunity. You got to look at my situation. I came from Kenosha, Wisconsin, a very small community. No one ever succeeded professionally at that from that area. So it was a great opportunity.
How much have you matured and grown up this year?
I think I've matured a lot. I'm not as mean or evil as I used to be. You know, talking to Jerry West, he always gets on me, telling me, you know, everybody thinks you're a mean kid, but you're not a mean kid. He gets that in my head, and I try to walk around with a smile once in a while.
Here we go, 2.4 to go. Jones to inbound, gets it to Van Exel. He makes a wish. Oh!
How much attention did you gain from hitting that shot against the Celtics in Boston Garden?
You know, I really didn't think about it at that time until all the reporters come in. You know, this is the last game in the Garden, Lakers in Boston. You heard the crowd saying, beat L.A. You know, it was a lot of fun.
Can you tell us a little bit about your life? It just became revealed by you that you really hadn't met your sisters until just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I got two sisters, half sisters who live in Atlanta, Georgia with their mother. I just met them a couple years ago when I was in Cincinnati, and you know that was exciting for me. And I got a half brother.
And how is that for you now? Is that something you welcome, or is it a distraction and difficult?
It's not difficult, and it's not something I handle.
Nick, you were quoted as saying that I basically don't trust anyone. Why, and where does that come from?
Probably because of my dad. You know, there were times when I was in high school and he lived in Atlanta or New York, wherever, and he would call once every blue moon and say, okay, I want you to get on this flight. And, you know, my grandfather took me down to the airport. Him and my aunt took me down to the airport, and I get there, and there's no flight ticket for me. So I'm like, oh, man, you know, I didn't want to ask my granddad to pay for it. I knew he would have, but I didn't want to ask him. And, you know, that was embarrassing. I'm telling all my friends in school, I'm going to see my dad. I haven't seen him since the 2nd grade. And it was tough for me to take, but I took it, and I had to deal with it.
Interesting. Back to Van Exel, the basketball player. We know what you think of him, Pete, because in your column you named him 3rd-team All-NBA. That means you think he's one of the half-dozen top guards in the league. You concur with that?
I certainly do. You know, he's more than a spark plug for the Lakers. I think he's probably the Lakers' most valuable player, and he's overcome all the baggage that was there before he signed with them, where he had the missed flights and a few missed interviews and stuff like that, and he's become a pretty good leader. And, you know, for Pete to pick him 3rd-team All-Pro, that's quite a compliment.
The Lakers and the Sonics, game 2 of the doubleheader today. Right now, back to the second half of the Cavs and Knicks. Cleveland up by 2 as we send it back to Marv, Matt, and Ahmad for the second half after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
TV, NBC. Tuesday, a dreamy new Wings lives out a Brady Bunch fantasy.
Far out.
And look who Helen is.
Marsha.
Then an all-new news radio steamy office affair.
I kissed Bill.
You are a sassy one.
And a brave new Frasier, the duel of a lifetime.
Look out!
Niles fights for the honor of his beloved Maris.
Very nice, thank you.
And Pride and Joy as Frasier's Perry Gilpin. All new must-see TV, NBC Tuesday.
Dear car owners, Midas is pleased to announce the Midas Wheel Deal. We're offering outstanding values on Midas Guaranteed shocks and struts to keep your car running safe and straight. Come in for a Midas Wheel Deal special today. Right now, during the Midas Wheel Deal, you can get 50% off the regular price of a second shock or strut, and they're guaranteed for as long as you own your car. The Midas way. The way it should be.
Fred Schmidt presents amazing savings. Our lowest price ever on this JVC camcorder, only $397.75. Our lowest price ever on this RCA 25-inch TV with remote, only $249.75. Our lowest price ever on this Sony receiver, only $157. And get a great price on this GE refrigerator, only $596. All this plus free gifts with select purchases. Hurry, amazing savings at Fred Schmidt and Saturday.
In the automotive world, if you don't change, you get crushed. Lexus, however, in our continuing pursuit of perfection, has made hundreds of changes to the LS400, resulting in a faster, more luxurious, roomier, and more maneuverable car than ever before. So drive an LS, unless, of course, you prefer to drive the competition. See the LS at Stevenson Lexus and Cooney Lexus. Everything's changed but the price.
If your Get Up and Go got up and went, watch Exhausted Monday at 10.
You're watching the 1995 NBA playoffs on NBC.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York. Cavaliers with a 2-point lead over the Knicks. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Mike, what's your name?
Mike, and Marv is the other guy.
Thank you very much. I'm just trying to get that straight. But you got to be happy, at least the first half. Your team seemed to match the intensity of the Knicks.
We're back competing in the basketball game the way we have done for the majority of the season. Both teams shooting the ball extremely well. My eyes are very bad because I think it says we only have 7 rebounds on this sheet here. I'm a little nervous about that.
All right, Mike, good luck to you in the second half. All right, back to you, Marv.
Yes, the Czar providing us with some halftime entertainment at the expense of the former dean. Look at the second half statistics brought to you by Miller Lite, and it certainly, Matt, has been a Cavalier-type ball game to this point.
Well, neither coach can be happy with those turnovers, but the pace of this game favors Cleveland right now, just hanging around. And I'm sure Pat Riley talked to his team about that, but Mike Fratello had to be happy with the emotion that his team came out and started the game with.
And the Cavaliers, 16 of 28, 57% from the field. The Knicks, 17 of 31. That's a low shot total by both because of the number of turnovers. We'll be right back.
Give me 10 more good reps, Mike. That's it. Yeah, good. No, that's not it. I'll tell you what it is. Now give me one more. One more. One more.
With 33% more carbos than Gatorade, it's Powerade.
Give me 10 more good reps, Mike.
There are a lot of reasons why we created Ford Windstar to be the only leading minivan that combines standard dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and standard anti-lock brakes. Many reasons for giving Windstar secure handling and making it longer for a smoother ride. We could acquaint you with some of these reasons, but why wake them up? Ford Windstar, created for the most important people in the world.
In the preseason, my back hurts. My arms hurt. My legs hurt. My brain hurts. Even my teeth hurt. But come the regular season, it's all worthwhile. 'Cause I get to hurt right back.
An old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way. Yippee-yi-yi-oh, the ghost riders in the sky.
And we're set for the start of play in the third quarter. Cavaliers with a 44-42 lead. Cleveland is led by as many as 10. They were up 17-7. Then they hit a drought. Both clubs, as we saw a moment ago, looking at the stats, shooting well, but because of the great number of turnovers committed in this first half, not a large number of shots taken. Here's Hot Rod Williams, and rebounded by Patrick Ewing. The Knicks with Harper and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Smith, and Oakley up front. And Charles Smith is playing with 3 fouls. Another Knick turnover, and they're hearing it from the crowd. That's number 16.
That's been the story of Charles Smith's game so far today, just trying to do too many things too quickly. Got to relax and settle down.
Price gets inside, and he draws the foul. So Mark Price will go to the line. The Cavaliers 11 of 11 at the foul line, and that number 4 on Smith. Charles discussing it with the official, Tommy Nunez.
This is called a little bit of a probe, not necessarily a fast break, but anytime Mark Price has that opening, he can take it there as he went in and just ticked on the arm by Charles Smith. Not a hard foul by any means, but it's been that kind of afternoon for Charles. One more time as Charles Smith, he felt he got all ball in there, but the official with a clear view right in front of it But when things are going bad for you in the ball handling department and in the silly foul department, that's what will happen to you.
The silly foul department. Once again, Matt Corning, an NBA term. Cavaliers lead by 4. Here's Price pushing it down, and Phil's changed his mind, and the Cavaliers give it right back. Last touch by Hill.
And that time the Cavaliers running a 3-on-2 break, and you could tell it's like they weren't supposed to be doing it. We're not supposed to be doing this, and consequently, they handle the ball very well. They're not supposed to run in those situations.
Anthony Mason out front with Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, John Starks, and Derek Hopper in the backcourt. Mason backing his way. Mason splitting through. The Cavaliers 46 and the Knicks 44. It's game 2 of this best of 5 Eastern Conference playoff series. The Knicks winning in a blowout here on Thursday. Cavaliers hoping to even the series as it shifts back to Cleveland for game 3 on Monday night. Again, a Knick foul. It's on Ewing. That is his second.
A little bit of a smile on the face of Mark Price. Things have not been going well for him. He feels like a pinball as he's been getting hit just about everywhere he goes. However, that time he initiated that contact. He just ran into Patrick Ewing to draw that foul. He's saying, hey, I finally got a call.
No shot.
Hopper moves it back. Starks played by Phils. Hill over to punch it away. Knicks will maintain possession.
John Williams is doing a terrific job on Patrick Ewing, forcing him further out than where he wants to be, fronting him when Patrick's inside, and that time Tyrone Hill came over to slap that ball out on a nice double team.
Hot Rod Williams, very smart player, makes good decisions, and from the defensive point of view, he has done a terrific job against Ewing. Starks for 3. So the Knicks take a 1-point lead.
A good call by the Knicks to bring Ewing away from the basket, involve him in a 2-man play. Let's take a look at it right here.
We'll get a look at it in a moment.
Patrick Ewing here setting this little screen here to come off, going to get the ball here to make the defense react. And now Patrick Ewing on the catch has the defense coming in, can see the whole floor in front of him, and finds the wide open John Starks.
Hopper, and again a Knick foul as Bobby Phills is taken down. The Knicks are now 4 of 12 from 3-point land following that 3-pointer by Starks, who just picked up his second foul. So Bobby Phills to the free throw line. He is 2 for 2 at the line. Cavaliers 13 of 13 for the game. Bobby Phills, originally a second-round pick of the Milwaukee Bucks. He was a bench player for 2 years and then received a chance last season from Mike Fratello. Did a good job in his 4th NBA campaign out of Southern University. Fans across the country can recall the job he did against Michael Jordan in a game seen here on NBC several weeks back. Wayne Embry, the general manager of the Cavaliers, asked me after the game, why don't we, meaning NBC, show Jordan missing against Phil's in the final seconds rather than the constant highlight that is seen of Jordan hitting over Craig Elo that I guess has gotten on Wayne's nerves after all this time.
It's a good point. I think I've seen it twice.
The Knicks with 17 turnovers. Cavaliers with 13. The game is tied at 47. 3 minutes in, 3rd quarter. Mills, nice hesitation move, but could not finish. Kept alive by Phills. And Mason sweeps it. Oakley off the fake is fouled by Hill.
Well, you can see that Anthony Mason loves to up-tempo. Anytime he gets the ball off the board or gets the ball in the middle on a fast break situation, he is going to explore a running opportunity and an easy basket opportunity. Always handles with his head up and generally makes a good play in that situation.
3rd foul committed by Tyrone Hill. Hopper. So Derek Hopper will go to the line.
As good a defensive team as Cleveland is, and they are only giving up 89 points a game. Now, yes, a lot of it is the tempo and the style that they play that keeps scores down, but they do a lot of good things defensively on double teams inside. They rotate well, very quick and very active, but the problem where they really have big problems is in pick and roll situations, and we've seen that the last couple of times where Ewing made the pass cross court to Starks, that time on the high screen roll where Derek Harper got a lane to the basket. It's a very difficult play, even for the good defensive teams.
Matt, you mentioned the Cavaliers allowing only 89 points per game. That leads the league. And Cleveland has held its opponents under 162 times, which is also tops in the NBA. The Knicks 49 and the Cavaliers 47. Cavaliers 0 for 4 from the field here in the third. Hill, blocking foul called by Jack Neese. That is number 3 committed by Patrick Ewing. There you see Cleveland allowing 89 a game. The Knicks, second in that department. They give up 95 points per game. In both cases, it has to do with the way these teams maintain the tempo. Cleveland tries to use as much of the 24-second clock as possible. They are both considered technically good defensive teams, but the style of play contributes to those numbers.
No question about it, and an even more telling number is the field goal percentage that you give up, and the Knicks are number 1 in that department at just about 43%. The Cavaliers give up 46%, but year in, year out, as long as Pat Riley has been the coach here, the Knicks an outstanding defensive team.
Tyrone Hill, not a good free throw shooter, 66% from the line. The Knicks with a 2-point lead. Ewing. Patrick Ewing from way out. He has not been getting the kind of shots that he normally gets. He does have the good touch and was able to hit that long jump shot.
On that pick and spot up wide open, and he was getting impatient waiting for the ball to land.
Williams coming up short. Derek Harper with the save. Knicks on the run. Pass thrown behind Mason, able to recover. Starks eluding Price. And the rebound by Williams. Nice box out by Hot Rod against Mason.
And Mason was in there. He was pushing him almost underneath the basket, which is what good offensive rebounders will do. But John Williams was able to hold his ground.
Price to slice his way through. It was deflected out by the Knicks. It's a favorite move of the Cavaliers. Williams comes out. Price looks to take advantage.
And when Mark Price was healthy 3 or 4 years ago, actually about 4 years ago before his knee surgery, he was as lethal as you could get in those situations. Almost impossible to guard. Right now he's playing on that very sore left heel.
Shot clock down to 2, down to 1. Price hits. Oh, Mark Price with the shot clock down to 1, able to hit on a fling, and the Knicks lead is down to 2. Whistle away from the ball. Hugh Hollins with the call of illegal defense and a technical foul will be awarded.
These are the kinds of looks that Mark Price has been getting in this series. Not very good. Shot clock winding down. Just has to fling it as he fades away from Derek Harper, but right now Mark Price will take any kind of basket he can get.
Price with 9 points, only 2 of 6 from the field. He's hit 5 of 5 at the line. Charles Oakley will shoot the technical.
The Knicks have discovered a little bit of a play now that's working for him. That screen and spot up for Patrick Ewing on the right side of the floor. Mike Fratello will talk it over with his team on how they want to guard it.
Timeout is called. 5 minutes in, third quarter.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday mornings on NBC.
Ford Contour brings you a world of innovative safety ideas, like the steel safety cell. This solid steel framework, combined with standard dual airbags, assures passengers that when it comes to safety, we've got you surrounded. Ideas like all-speed traction control, available with Contour's anti-lock brakes to help tires grip better at every speed for improved control. How does that grab you? A world of new ideas in a world car for the 21st century. The totally new Ford Contour, well equipped for just $14,670.
amor, pareces diferente esta noche.
Que no terminé de tipear el informe mensual de marketing. Es un plomo y me están presionando.
No te lo puedo creer. ¿Todavía no has oído hablar del nuevo software de reconocimiento de voz de IBM? Vos simplemente le hablás y te lo escribe automáticamente.
Estoy anonadada.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me. Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you.
No, after you.
Life is good. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by Miller Lite, when you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Beautiful 71-degree day here in New York City. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, during that last time out, Mike Fratello very much concerned about his team's level of intensity. He felt like it dropped a little bit from the first half, and he kept telling his team they got to bring that intensity level back up and try to force more turnovers. Marv?
Well, that's the major concern of Mike Fratello. Looking back at game one on Thursday night. Knicks 52, Cavaliers 49. The lead for Ewing, he lost it. Open shot for Williams. So the Cavaliers are within one.
And just the second field goal in this third quarter for Cleveland, now 2 for 7. But the Knicks going to a little bit of a wrinkle on that screen. The slip by Ewing. Tyrone Hill did an outstanding job of filling in.
Ron Williams breaking up that entry pass attempted by John Starks. 6.5 remaining in the third quarter. Cavaliers led most of the first half. A run by the Knicks here in the third. They now lead by 1 as Price kicks it back out. Mills for 3. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have taken a 54-52 lead. Knicks have now committed 19 turnovers. Oakley for Ewing. And he's fouled by Mills, and they have words.
Well, Patrick Ewing, this is a play that the Knicks normally like to run late in the game when they need a basket, but since that play has been working for them, they set it up. But Tyrone Hill breaks it up, and that leads to a transition basket, if you will, for the Cavaliers, something they don't get very many of. And then on the next possession, Mark Price with penetration set up another field goal for Cleveland. And here it is as Price, one of the few times he's been able to get into the lane without somebody hanging onto him, drew the defense and found the open man out on the perimeter.
Ewing, a 75% free throw shooter. He has tied the game at 54. This is the second playoff meeting between the Knicks and Cleveland, the history of their franchises. They met in the first round back in 1978. Price tied up. They'll jump it up.
And Hot Rod Williams very upset with referee Hugh Hollins. He was trying to signal for a stoppage of play, some kind of a timeout, as Price was in trouble. At that time, Mark was trying to go off a screen initially. And what the Knicks fear the most is when Mark Price comes back the other way right there, and Derek Harper did just an outstanding textbook job defensively to keep Price on the same side of the floor and force this jump ball.
It will be Price against Oakland.
Hugh Hollins just checked the chin of Mark Price to see if he was bleeding.
Oakley looking for the edge and asked to step back. Price fanned on the toss, and then Oakley able to get it over to Harper. Game is tied at 54, 5:40 left in the third quarter. Starks changed his mind, found Ewing, and he's Ewing will go to the line.
Well, both Charles Oakley and Mark Price not really ready for the toss, but evidently Price more ready for it. He just, as you say, Mark, whiffed on the play. Charles Oakley could have got the envelope under his shoes there. Never even got airborne.
Ron Williams call for the foul. That's Cleveland trainer Gary Briggs checking out the chin of Mark Price.
Patrick Ewing was saying yesterday that he is still not 100% bothered by that hamstring, and he has not had good lift today. He's had a number of opportunities in and around the basket, and he's been kind of flipping the ball instead of going up and dunking it. So Patrick Ewing is playing on that sore hamstring.
Sat out the final 2.5 games of the regular season, as did Derek Harper. Ewing with the hamstring, as you mentioned. Harper with a sore left ankle. The Knicks 55, the Cavaliers 54. Hill getting position. Hill working on Ewing. And he's called for a travel.
The Knicks continue to force Tyrone Hill off his comfort spot, out off the block. He made a jumper in the first half, but Tyrone Hill not an effective player there, as he did pick up that pivot foot before he put the ball down. He didn't think so.
15th turnover by Cleveland. They have surpassed their average. Oakland lost it. That's 20 turnovers by the Knicks. Price gave it right back. He thought he was fouled. 3-on-1. Scores. Oh, the sloppy play at both ends continues, but the Knicks take advantage, and they now lead by 3.
Mark Price is livid as he had some open floor there, but Patrick Ewing came from behind and either fouled him, and according to Mark Price he did, or knocked that ball loose to turn into the easy basket.
7 turnovers by Price. Mills from the open 3. So Mills has hit 2 straight from downtown. He has 12, and he's tied the game at 57.
Both teams have been so effective when they start offense on one side of the floor, quickly reverse it. Players are able to get in rhythm and shoot the ball much better.
And Mason is fouled. Mills and Williams converging on Mason.
And Patrick Ewing hammers the arm of Mark Price to knock that ball loose and set up this 2-on-1 fast break between Harper and Starks. As Patrick Ewing very happy with it, but he knows he got away with a major league hack.
Cavalier foul on Mills, his 3rd, putting Mason at the line. Cleveland averaging only 14 turnovers per game, slightly behind Phoenix for best record in the NBA. More impressive with Cleveland because they hold the ball most of the 24, while Phoenix likes to pop it up pretty quickly, and that's the story today. And Mark Price, again, having some troubles in that department.
And the Cavaliers rarely turn it over in the open floor because they very rarely fast break.
Big lead is now 2. Phils got the step. Bobby Phils with 13 points, and the game is tied at 59.
That's a typical Bobby Phils type of shot. Couple of dribbles, get in the air, and he's able to knock down those short little 8, 10, 12-footers, which are difficult shots for most players.
Ewing still went for the fake and was called for the foul. That's 4 on Tyrone Hill, and a decision to be made here by Mike Fratello. And he has made that decision. He'll bring on Michael Cage for Tyrone Hill.
Well, the Cavaliers very conscious of Patrick Ewing's jump shot. They started out the game making sure they were up on him, challenging his jump shots. But this is a foolish foul by Tyrone Hill here. Nevertheless, it was a good head fake to get Hill in the air by Patrick Ewing, and then Patrick took care of the rest by nudging into Hill to draw the foul.
Ewing now 4 of 5 at the line. Hill will sit down. Both teams are over the limit. Michael Cage, who played briefly in the first half, checks in. Once again, both clubs not shooting the ball frequently. In this 3rd quarter, the Cavaliers 5 of 10 from the field. The Knicks have taken only 6 shots. They're 4 of 6. 6 shots in 9 minutes. Mills has had the hot hand. That time went to the drive and traveled.
Fake right, go left. but he changed his poof. And, you know, Elgin Baylor used to do that quite a bit. Elgin won't like hearing that, but Elgin used to get away with that type of play. Chet Walker was another one who did that.
So, 25 years after the fact, Matt blasting Elgin Baylor.
Some 25,000 points later by Elgin.
Anybody else you played with or against that annoyed you that you may want to take a shot at here, Matt? And it's another turnover. That wasn't Mark Price's fault. Pass was off the mark. But it's another Cavalier turnover. Just under 3 minutes to go in the third. Knicks by 1 with the ball. Ewing off the double team finds Oakley. And Bobby Phills comes up with it.
Nice pass out by Patrick Ewing, who looked like he was trying to escape the double team, turning away to the baseline, but able to find the open man. But Charles Oakley probably could have made another pass on that particular situation.
Williams with a good look for Cage. Nice pass by Hot Rod Williams. Michael Cage has 6 points. Cavaliers lead by 1. Hopper with the change of direction. Hopper has been putting on good moves, has not been able to finish it off. Cavaliers 61, the Knicks 60, and a timeout call by Cleveland.
This is a little wrinkle that the Cavaliers put in for this particular ballgame on screen roll situations. That pass back, and then the roller is Michael Cage as the Knicks very slow to recover. This is a problem that they have a great deal of defending.
2:11 left in the third. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Today's cars and trucks are more advanced than ever, but there is a price. Their harder-working engines can wreak havoc on the motor oil, breaking it down almost immediately. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your harder-working engine could make things hard on you. Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. Buy a case of Castrol GTX or Syntec and get an officially licensed NBA ball.
Dennis, you're just a little bit too tight, man. You need to loosen up. Oh, man. Be provocative. Don't be so conservative. Shake things up. Be shocking. Let your hair down.
Please, lay off the hair, okay?
Over the top, man. Be an individual.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, you can start by eating your pizza the wrong way. Crust first.
That's weird, man. That's too weird.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
Let's turn it around.
Well, Dave, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Large, just $9.99.
America's best-selling car has an impressive new feature. Because right now, whether you buy or lease, you can get $1,000 cash back on your choice of any Ford Taurus model, sedan or wagon. Or get $1,500 cash back on Taurus SHO. But don't wait to take advantage of this great offer on Taurus. Because the deal that makes America's best-selling car an even better value won't last forever. Ford Taurus.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold one.
We gotta get out of this place.
You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
For me and you.
Sunday, Hunter is back. Someone will turn the love of his life into the murder case of his career. Who the hell are you? An all-new Hunter movie, NBC Sunday.
A moment ago, Tyrone Hill picked up his fourth personal. He's a very fiery, emotional player who is usually among the leaders in the Department of Technical Fouls. We talked about that with Tyrone.
You know, I'm very emotional, and you know, just one of them situations where I just need to control my temper out there. I want to win so bad, and you know, whatever it takes to win, even getting on one official nerves or getting on all the nerves. But fortunately, it's not working, and you know, with the technicals that I have, and I could have just gave that money to the local charity around the city of Cleveland, but they're not gonna let me do that.
2 minutes. Well, Tyrone Hill with 16 technical fouls this season. And he has been trying to calm things down, sitting it out after picking up his fourth personal. Cavaliers just turned it over for the 19th time. Ewing was fouled, hacked by Cage. He's upset that he was not able to convert. Patrick Ewing will go to the line with 1:50 to go in this third quarter, and the Cavaliers up 61-60. Ewing, 4 of 6 from the line. Cavaliers maintain the 1-point lead. A reminder coming up next right here on NBC, the second part of our NBA playoff doubleheader, the Lakers and the Sonics. NBA playoff action continuing. That'll be next following the Knicks and the Cavaliers. And the Cavs now tied with the Knicks, 61 apiece.
Patrick Ewing has been struggling from the free throw line in this ballgame. Normally a 75% shooter. He's been backing off as he releases the ball, trying to aim it a little bit.
Another turnover. That is number 9. The NBA record for an individual most turnovers in a playoff game. Super John Williamson back in 1979 did it for the Nets.
I can understand why Mark Price is getting a lot of his turnovers. He's just trying to force things. He's saying to the referee, he's been getting hit on plays. But when Mark Price, because of his size, not tall enough, gets in too deep among the taller players and forces it, he will turn it over. But some of the other ones by the Cavaliers are just absolutely unbelievable.
Oakley keeping it alive. He thought he was fouled. No call made. He might be hit. Yes, he will. He's hit with a technical. Too much from Charles Oakley, embarrassing the official, getting in the face of Tommy Nunez, and no question about it.
Well, Charles Oakley, who does not have a lot of lift going up there, John Williams knocked that thing out of there, appeared to get all ball, but Charles Oakley, when you get after an official like that in the wide open area, watch Charles Oakley just not getting up high enough. Actually, it was Mills from behind as Charles Oakley just bears down on referee Tommy Nunez. In fact, almost begging for the technical.
Cavaliers lead 62-61 with this third quarter winding down. Phil's posting up on Starks. Michael Cage, 4 of 4 from the field. He has 8 points. Cavaliers lead by 3.
And this is how Cage can help his ball club, just hanging around the basket, picking up those loose baskets for the easy layup.
Traveling violation. Charles Oakley following up on the technical by being called for steps.
One-hand whip pass by Bobby Phills, and actually Cage had taken his eye off it. They are tough passes to catch, even when you can see them coming. But this is one reason why the Cavaliers have turned it over so much. Some careless passes and taking your eye off the ball.
And Mark Price showing the feathery touch over Greg Anthony, who had come on for Derek Harper. The Cavaliers lead 66-61. Out of 20 seconds left in the third. Ewing comes out to set the pick. Shot clock at 5. And the call against the Knicks. It's a 3-second violation on Mason. 14 seconds remaining in the third. That turnover number 22 for the Knicks. So these two clubs have combined for 42 turnovers. The record most turnovers in a playoff game, both teams 60. Golden State of Washington in 1975. Ewing just fires it in frustration. Good finish for the Cavs to this third quarter. Cleveland with a 66-61 lead. Bobby Phills, 5 of 8, 13 points in all. Cavaliers shooting 57% for the game. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Back after this from your local station.
Football can be exciting, but truck football, now that's a rush. So if you're gonna tackle it, you better get a hold of the right equipment. A 1995 Ford Ranger 4x4.
Red 39!
Complete with switch-on 4-wheel drive, new 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, and a whopping 4-liter V6. So get a Ford Ranger 4x4 and play truck football.
How am I going to spike this thing?
Grandpa Shaq, tell us how basketball used to be.
Well, the basket wasn't always 20 feet tall.
What about 100-yard courts?
Not even close.
What happened?
All sport.
All Sport. Unsurpassed taste. A third more carbs than Gatorade for energy. This is a body quencher.
After All Sport, the game was a breeze. Until they put in the moving basket.
All Sport. The game will never be the same.
Hey!
Who are they playing?
Celtics.
You know, it's actually pronounced Celtic.
What is?
Celtic.
You telling me the Boston Celtics are actually the Boston Celtics?
That is correct.
So my choice is I either agree with the rest of the world or you.
Uh-huh.
Beat those Celtics.
I love this game.
In the House, starring LL Cool J and Debbie Allen, premieres NBC Monday.
What does it take to own the road? It takes the power of a 205 horsepower V6. It takes the confidence of anti-lock brakes and dual airbags, 24-hour roadside assistance and free courtesy transportation. It takes the control of power windows and locks, cruise control, and air conditioning. So what does it take to own the road? Pontiac Bonneville, now an even better value, $299 a month, 36 months. $299 a month, 36 months.
See your Colorado Pontiac excitement team.
Go West. Out here, we have an appetite for adventure. Go West. And once you've tasted it, there's no turning back. Go West. It's the Southwestern thing, and it's only at Arby's with our new Chicken Finger Santa Fe. Made with real chicken and served with our new wild Southwestern sauce. Arby's Chicken Finger Santa Fe, no one packs a bolder taste. Go West. When we say it's better out here, this is what we mean. Arby's new Chicken Finger Santa Fe.
Les Shapiro Sports, weeknights on News 4 at 5.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad as we head to the fourth quarter. The usual sellout crowd, better than 19,000 on hand. Cleveland with a strong finish to the third. They outscore the Knicks 22-19 overall and lead by 5. They've led by as many as 10 points. Turning things around from the poor effort in game 1 on Thursday night. Anthony Mason has been very quiet getting it out to John Starks. Patrick Ewing. Rebound Ewing. And he's fouled. Foul committed by Michael Kay.
A terrific pass by John Starks as Ewing held his man on the top side and going up. And as I mentioned earlier, Patrick just does not have a lot of lift in his legs as he flipped that a little bit, got it blocked, and then on the next possession, after the offensive rebound, Patrick went up and tried to dunk that through and just couldn't get up high enough.
Ewing is now 6 for 9 at the line.
Well, Pat Riley had said that he was concerned about complacency on the part of the Knicks, knowing full well that they could never match the emotion that they played with in game 1 or the efficiency. Not only it's been a case of complacency, certainly the passing has been careless enough, but it's just a team not playing well.
And a careless play right there on the inbounds. Steve Coulter stepping over the line to give it back to the Knicks.
It's been a case, Mark, both teams who are used to grinding, they are certainly grinding here this afternoon, despite the fact they're shooting the ball well when they can get a shot towards the basket.
Charles Smith playing with the 4 fouls back on the floor. Starks for Mason. And the call against the Cavaliers. Illegal defense for a technical foul.
Oh, miscommunication between Steve Coulter as the step in and the hand in, which is a no-no.
Yes. John Starks will shoot the technical, his first appearance at the foul line.
You'd be surprised, Mark, how many times that happens where it's an illegal pass inbounds, where it's generally a big man with with an up-tempo team taking the ball out of the net and actually never really steps out of bounds trying to get the ball going the other way. So we always used to feel sometimes the officials did not watch that inbound pass. However, about 18,000 people saw that one.
Stark sitting down with 14 points. Smith, stop. Smith draws the foul. Charles Smith trying to spark the club here at the start of the fourth quarter. Foul by Chris Mills.
Now you talk about grinding. It's been that kind of afternoon for Charles Smith, who got into early foul trouble, never could get anything going. There's 3 turnovers here, trying to force things inside, at least battling hard. But Charles Smith tried to come out with that emotion, but didn't have it channeled properly, and just pushing, grabbing, and committing those foolish type fouls.
79% free throw shooter. Smith converting 1 of 2. The Cavaliers 66 and the Knicks 64. Steve Coulter guarded by Greg Anthony. Mark Price getting a rest. Coulter for Williams. Ewing with the rebound. Anthony will reset. Smith posting Williams. Davis, who had the hot hand in the first half. Smith. Bang! Picked up by Ewing. Cage had it and lost it. And the game is tied at 66.
Once again, Patrick Ewing hanging around the boards, but obviously having a lot of problems with his legs right now. He is just unable to get up into the air with any authority.
The chant of defense. Mills for 3. Chris Mills has hit his last 3 from downtown. He now has 15 points, and the Cavaliers lead 69-66. Gilbert Davis. And rebounded by Mills. Chris Mills stepping up for the Cavaliers. Mills in his second year out of Arizona. Mills up front with Cage and Williams. Mills being guarded by Smith. Shot clock is down to 3. Mills had to force it and is able to convert. Chris Mills again. Cavaliers unhappy. They thought he was fouled.
Those are the kind of shots that the Cavaliers are used to getting. Shot clock winding down. They have to try to make something happen. The Cavaliers do not have a lot of one-on-one players that can create. Tough play by Chris Mills.
Mason, stop. Cage with the save, but it ends up in the hands of Ewing. That's a no-no. The save underneath the opposition basket, and it ended up in the hands of Patrick Ewing.
And you tell that to players all the time, but when you're out there trying to do it, you lose sight sometimes of where you are. You're trying to make a hustle play, and that'll happen from time to time. We see it where Charles Oakley does it often, but he usually throws it pretty deep.
Hand-checking foul called on Anthony. A timeout is taken. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Sean Kemp and the Sonics face the Lakers. The playoffs continue next on NBC.
There's a new direction in touring luxury sedans. One that raises levels of luxury and refinement to new heights. Introducing the new Acura TL series. If you're ready for a change, this is the turning point.
Because we don't all have the same face, there's the Chic Tracer. Tracer flexes to fit each individual face, leaving your unique face uniquely comfortable. The Chic Tracer. We're changing the face of shaving.
Investing? They'll eat you alive. You'll never be able to retire. Your dog knows more about investing than you do. You'll never get a decent return. Wake up! You're having that retirement nightmare again. It's awful. Don't worry. MetLife has Preference Plus variable annuities. Tax deferred. Easy to understand, even for the cautious investor. Thanks, Linus. I'll look into it in the morning. Or sooner. Get Met. It pays.
Welcome to Tostitos. You make the call. This part of your dribbles Tostitos salsa down the chin and onto the shirt. Is this an offensive foul or double dribble? If you said double dribble, you made the right call. Please party by the rules.
Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold one. You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Genuine Moment takes us back to 5 years to the day. Pat Riley's Lakers versus the Rockets. First round of the playoffs, game number 2. And it was Magic Johnson and James Worthy doing most of the damage down the stretch. The game winner coming on the steal and bucket by Worthy. The Lakers winning 104-100. And for Pat Riley, it was his 100th career playoff win as head coach. At the time, he passed Red Auerbach, becoming the all-time leader in playoff victories. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. And Pat Riley has since added 32 victories to that total. He is number 1 all-time playoff record, 132-70. Coulter off the recovery. Smith with the rebound. Cavaliers 71 and the Knicks 68. 8:40 left in this fourth quarter. Open shot for Charles Smith.
A terrific ball movement on the part of the Knicks. Patrick Ewing getting a breather right now. And this is a team out on the floor who played so well in the last 2.5 games of the regular season by doing just that, keeping the basketball moving and getting good high percentage shots.
And a foul called on Oakley. Oakley getting involved with Hill. That's 3 on Oakley.
Anthony Mason has been so aware that any time he catches the ball, he moved it to Oakley, and Oakley didn't hold it. Found the open man, Charles Smith, with a wide open look.
Mike Fratello staying with Steve Coulter as the point guard. Mark Price sitting down. Here's Tony Campbell. Anthony Mason with the rebound.
And Tony Campbell felt he was fouled on the play by Charles Smith.
Anthony for 3. Rebounded by Mills.
Tony Campbell looked like he had it going in the second quarter. Made 2 quick field goals. The Cavaliers never went back to him. Pat Riley aware of it. He's got Anthony Mason checking him.
Mills gets inside, slicing his way. And a foul is called. Chris Mills hurting the Knicks in the second half. Again, the foul on Oakley. That is his 4th. Tomorrow, a day packed with NBA playoff action here on NBC. Triple header starting at 12 noon Eastern with NBA Showtime. Shaq Penny and the Magic hosting the Celtics. Game 2, Phoenix and Portland. And then in prime time, Michael Jordan leading the Bulls into the Hive, facing Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, and the Charlotte Hornets. Illegal defense is called on the Knicks, and a technical foul awarded to the Cavaliers. So 3 outstanding NBA playoff matchups tomorrow. NBA Showtime will tip it off at 12 noon Eastern. Michael Jordan with the 48 points last night to lead the Bulls to that overtime win in Charlotte. Orlando winning its first ever playoff game in a blowout of the Boston Celtics. So doubleheader today and a tripleheader tomorrow will be followed by the Sonics and the Lakers. Greg Gumbel and Steve Jones will have it for you following the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Cavs lead by 2 points, trying to tie the series at 1. Off the steal. Gilbert Davis control.
The Cavs just look totally confused offensively right there. Chris Mills has been carrying the offensive load in the last 3 or 4 minutes. He is out for a little bit of a breather.
The ball back to the Cavaliers. And Greg Anthony replaced by Derek Harper.
That'll be interesting to see where the Cavaliers go for offense right now. They could go inside to Hill or to Campbell, who is an effective one-on-one player, even against a guy like Anthony Mason.
Price getting set to check back in. Shot clock is down to 5. Campbell. Violation call. Timeout is taken with 6:39 remaining in the fourth.
Normally, little Tommy Johnson wouldn't stand a chance against NBA star Grant Hill. But today, he's drinking Sprite.
You're in my world now, Hill.
Okay, so maybe Sprite won't make you a better athlete. But just to be sure, now we'll pit Tommy against sumo wrestler Katashi.
Good luck, kid.
Here in Ohio, we tested the new Honda Accord V6 and discovered that the car more people buy than any other is now better and quicker than ever before. Now, why would you want a car that lets you get away so fast?
You're late.
You got your reasons. The new Accord V6 from Honda.
Gentlemen, I smell business opportunity somewhere.
Where?
By the time these guys notice how much opportunity the sports and entertainment industry holds,
This way?
I don't know. The most exciting opportunity of all
That way?
maybe will be gone.
This way?
That way.
Because Madison Square Garden is already part of ITT. For 75 years, ITT, the one to follow.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Honda, building quality automobiles in America for the past 12 years. By MetLife, get Met, it pays. And by Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York City. Cleveland Cavaliers owner Gordon Gunn supporting his club here at the Garden. Cavaliers with a 2-point lead, 6:39 left in the fourth quarter. It's been a game of few shots and many turnovers. 59 shots attempted, the record for fewer shots in a playoff game. The Chicago Bulls with 59 and Cleveland with just 47 shots attempted thus far. Davis. Charles Smith with the shot clock running down. Smith lost the dribble off his foot. It will be Cleveland ball.
Another one of those sequences where the Knicks can't get anything going with the first couple of options. Swing the ball around, but really Hubert Davis does not necessarily get the ball in that situation, top of the key, and try to drive to the basket. Derek Harper, the best man on the floor for that.
Mark Price is back on the floor. John Starks getting set to return twice for three. And Davis with the rebound. Cavaliers with a 2-point lead with just under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth. Patrick Ewing also getting set to return. Here's Mason off the fake. And it's tied the game at 72.
Little misdirection there and a nice feed by Hubert Davis, as that time Mason had perfect position in the paint to execute the spin move on Mills.
Quiet game for Mason offensively. That's only a second field goal, but he has not been forcing the issue. And a foul against the Knicks. It's a blocking foul.
New York foul charge on Charles Oakley. That's his
foul on Oakley. That's number 5.
All right, let's look at Anthony Mason posted up inside here, but watch his feet when he catches this ball by Davis and then make that spin move on the baseline. You see both feet all the way inside the lane, and that's why he is able to get that defender on his back and use him as a post to just spin off him and make that nice move with the right hand, as Anthony Mason prefers to use the right hand in and around the basket.
Bobby Phil's now 4 of 5 at the line, a 78% free throw shooter. So Phil's with 15 points. Let's check in with Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Marv, during that last timeout, Mike Fratello challenging his team to just try to concentrate on defense the last 5 minutes of this game. And also, offensively, he wants them to spread it out. Very much concerned with the passing lanes. He figures that with Price in there, if they spread it out, it makes it easier for him to drive to the basket. And also, he may be able to get better looks from the outside with a wide spread out offense. Marv?
Ahmad foul is called on Mills. That is his fifth. It's a non-shooting foul. Cavaliers with 3 team fouls. Knicks with 4 as we approach 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Cavaliers up by 2. Ewing for Starks. And Hill with the steal. And then a foul called on the Knicks. Hill tapped it to Phil's, and he was hit.
Well, we talk so much about the inordinate amount of turnovers by both teams. I think most teams will tell you after the game that a lot of it was caused by tough defense here as Mills holds up Ewing, can't get him going, and now works and battles, gets around on front on the lazy pass, however, by John Starks. If he's going to make that bounce pass, he has to take the ball lower, get it below the free throw line extended, and you can tell by the look on John Starks' face, he knows exactly what he did wrong.
And it was Starks called for the foul, putting the Knicks over the limit. Cavaliers are now 19 of 22 at the line. The Knicks and the Cavaliers have each turned it over 24 times. Cavs lead now 76-72. They double up on Mason. Here's Mason. And he is fouled. So Anthony Mason will go to the line. It's certainly been a different Cleveland Cavalier team this afternoon. When you look back at what took place in game 1 on Thursday, the Cavs shooting just under 40%, 54% today, forcing 24 turnovers. The Knicks on Thursday night shot 63% from the field. They had the edge off the boards. They did it in every department, including the department of playing passionate basketball. That's not the case the other night for Cleveland, and they have turned it up several notches here today.
And they've really done it with the defense, and they are playing even stronger defense now in this fourth quarter, rotating very quickly on screen roll situations. The Knicks, when they run those screen rolls, have to try to get the ball to the other side of the floor, and that'll create some openings and lanes to drive to the basket.
Knicks not shooting badly at 48%. Foul is called on Mason. And again, free throw opportunities for the Cavaliers.
And this is not a player that the New York Knicks want to put on the free throw line. The all-time leading percentage free throw shooter at 91%, who has certainly had his problems in this series with his passing, his ball handling, forcing things inside, playing injured, not getting good shots. But he is going to stay out there and compete, and always very dangerous.
Price is now 7 of 7 at the line. A 20-second timeout taken by the Knicks. So the Knicks with 3 full timeouts remaining, and the Cavaliers with 4 full and a 20. 4:33 to go in this fourth quarter. Cavaliers lead by 4. Coming up next, the NBA playoffs continue here on NBC Sports. We'll travel to the Great Northwest for a Western Conference battle. The Lakers and the Sonics, game 2 of the best-of-5 set. Lakers hoping to turn it from the 96-71 defeat at the Tacoma Dome on Thursday night. Greg Gumbel, Steve Jones, Hannah Storm on hand. That's coming up next right here on NBC.
Well, Mike Fratello, when he went to this offense and style of play in the early part of the season, oh my, Mark Price with an unusual miss. Knew it was not going to be pretty, but Mike's not out there trying to win any beauty contest. This is how his team has to play to have a chance to win. He's got to be ecstatic with where he sits right now at this point in the ballgame.
It is a 4-point lead for the Cavaliers. 4:15 remaining on the floor. Illegal defense called, and that one hurts because The Knicks had only 5 remaining on the 24. Instead, they get a technical foul shot plus possession with a new 24.
And all the Cavalier players turned to the officials to say that it was a pump fake. And you are allowed to be illegal for a second or two on the pump fake. But the officials, because of their particular positions on the floor and what their duties are to cover, they don't always see the pump fake. And consequently, that's why Tyrone Hill went and was illegal.
John Starks missed a technical a moment ago, able to hit. He has 15 points, and it brings the Knicks within 3. They double up on Harper. Again, illegal defense. And another technical foul.
Well, this is what I was talking about earlier, why the Cavaliers were so effective against the screen rolls of New York. They were rotating actually before the play developed, and Tyrone Hill is getting there ahead, and the official picked it out. It was a good call.
Mike Fratello very upset, looking for the explanation.
Keep your eye on Tyrone Hill, who was coming over to rotate to an open man, but he is below the free throw line extended. His man is above, and that's why he is illegal.
77-75, Cleveland. 5 illegal defensive calls against the Cavaliers. We are just under 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Starks for 3. The Knicks lead by 1. Smith jumping out of Price. Williams. Mason with the rebound. The Knicks with the ball and a 1-point lead. 3:25 remaining. Fourth quarter. Ewing. Smith. Charles Smith. The Cavaliers calling for time.
Well, on the last 2 offensive possessions for New York, starting the play on one side of the floor, making the defense react, double team, and then swinging it to the other side. And that's when both of these teams have been most effective, as John Starks gets the clean look on the crisp passing from side to side, as the Knicks starting to feel it right now, and the crowd definitely into it. Charles Smith, this time the recipient, as the ball is swung to the other side, and a nice escape dribble as the Knicks really feeling it right now.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Sam used every wall in the house for a backboard.
Kenny looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me.
That's my boy! He can do that maneuvering and get by.
I like to see Kenny when he steals it.
He can steal a ball. Ow! 58 feet out. Swish. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him.
Kenny would get it.
Guess he got it from his mother.
The Bud Light Amateur Beach Challenge. They're lean. They're mean.
They're killing us. Yeah. How about 2 out of 3?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
What's wrong with her?
Make it a Bud Light.
There's a new direction in touring luxury automobiles. One with flawless workmanship, a rich leather-trimmed interior, and exceptional performance. For everyone who's been searching for the perfect car, Acura introduces the TL Series.
Sunday at noon Eastern, a playoff triple header. First, Shaq and company, fresh off their Magic Act Friday, try to go 2-up on the Celtics. Then with 29 points, Sir Charles dominated Game 1. Can the Blazers even the score? And Michael Jordan's 48 led the Bulls to a thrilling win in OT. Now they look to sting the Hornets again. Sunday on NBC.
Well, this crowd has been playoff ready since the Knicks stepped on the court for the pregame warm-ups on Thursday night prior to Game 1. And the Knicks with that 7-0 run now lead 80-77. 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Williams with a strong move. Able to cut around Patrick Ewing, and he brings the Cavaliers within one.
I asked one of the Knicks coaches if John Williams ever goes to his left. He said once about every 3 years. I guess that was it.
10 points for Williams. Ewing now played by Mills, goes right at him. And a foul is called.
Cavaliers keeping the ball on the same side of the floor, which has not been good. John Williams in a little bit of trouble, has to start that drive. He went left, but he had to put the ball on the floor down with his right hand. Not his favorite move, but able to get all the way to the basket.
Foul was called on Tyrone Hill, his fifth. 5 apiece on Hill and Mills. Oakley also with 5. He's sitting down at this point. Patrick Ewing, 8 for 11. From the line, he has 20 points. Tyrone Hill, one of several Cleveland Cavaliers who's upset about that turbulent plane ride on the charter back from Charlotte last week. He wanted to drive back to Cleveland. He drove here. Took him about 9 hours. But the Cavaliers told him that he will be on the charter back tonight. Tyrone Hill coming back strong here this afternoon after a poor game on Thursday. And he was bottled up and fouled by Starks. That's 4 on Starks.
Mark Price anticipating the rotation by New York, thought he would have Tyrone Hill all alone, and only because Patrick Ewing was slow to rotate to John Williams, who was out in that corner, he found himself in perfect defensive position. Nevertheless, the poor free throw shooter Hill steps to the line.
66% from the line this season. Only 2 of 5 this afternoon. The difference for the Knicks in the fourth quarter, they have cut down on turnovers. They have 22 turnovers the first 3 quarters, only 2 here in the fourth. Hill hitting 1 of 2. The Knicks 82, the Cavaliers 80, with 2:25 remaining in the fourth. The Knicks trying to go 2-up on the series. Cavaliers hoping to bring it back to Cleveland, tied at 1. Ewing, rebound Mills, he lost it. The recovery. The Knicks with a new 24. Starks. Ewing. Off the double team, got it to Harper. Shot clock at 7. Harper. Mason. And Mason called for steps.
Well, now that third turnover in the fourth quarter. Excuse me, but Cleveland's defense so aggressive, taking the Knicks out of their offense that time. And when they look at this tape, they'll see how much better the shooting percentages are when they reverse the ball to the other side.
A minute 45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Price with the look. Mark Price had the good look, could not put it down. The Knicks with the ball. They lead by 2. A minute 25 left in the fourth. Starks for 3. Back tap, handled by Price, has Phils with him. Here's Phils, and he's tied the game at 82. Mark Price with the lead pass for Bobby Phils. The Cavaliers and the Knicks tied at 82. The Knicks take a timeout with a minute 16 remaining in the fourth quarter. This is a Cleveland Cavalier team that got a split of the season series by winning both games here at Madison Square Garden. And they've come from behind again to tie it.
Have you had your break today? We are me, tempt me, tease me. Rush me down to Mickey D's. Have you had your break today? Easy does it, McDonald's way. Taste the place, a smiling face. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Have you had your break today? Have you had your break today?
You know, Linda's been my barber, stylist for years. Months. And a while back, she told me.
Stop squirming.
No. She said I should do something about my flakes. I said, get a new barber? She said, get new Head and Shoulders. I said, you're serious? She said, yeah. Now it has Micro D, which fights flakes better without stripping your hair of the oils it needs. So my hair feels soft. No flakes. And I owe it all to my stylist.
New Head and Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
NBC Sunday, Sequest is back with an all-new episode.
He doesn't just read minds.
The Dream Master.
He can tell them what to think. Here I come.
When he gets inside your mind,
what's wrong with me?
The danger begins.
Gotcha.
NBC's Sequest, an all-new episode, Sunday.
The 1995 NBA playoffs on NBC.
Reminder coming up next here on NBC, the second part of our NBA playoff doubleheader. The Los Angeles Lakers, Seattle Supersonics. That is next, right here. Playoff action continuing tonight. Atlanta in game 2 of their series against Indiana, Houston, and Utah in game number 2. Those games will be seen tonight on TNT.
And both Utah and Indiana escaping in those first games of that series.
You were right, Matt. The emotion getting to you. And we have another telecast tomorrow. Chicago and Charlotte. The Knicks and the Cavaliers tied at 82 with 1:10 left in the fourth quarter. Starks being played tightly by Phils. Oh, Price had it diagnosed, could not hold on. He saw that pass coming. The Knicks want a timeout. Knicks in disarray. Called for the time with 7 remaining on the 24 and 59 seconds left in the fourth.
It's 10:15 in the Amazon and a butterfly flaps its wings, which spreads pollen and causes a caribou to sneeze, igniting a massive stampede that adds wind to a mounting storm, which alters the global pattern of weather and creates a downpour that knocks out the electricity, so you couldn't blow dry your hair. With all that can go wrong in your day, isn't it nice to know you can rely on your Honda Civic?
This isn't Hollywood. This is the Army. A place that prepares you to think, to act, to be a part of the real world. A world where change is rapid, where technology keeps expanding. By the year 2000, there'll be as many computers as people. So get ready for tomorrow in the high-tech army of today. Because we've already begun the 21st century in America's Army.
I'm a victim of child abuse. My life has been ruined because someone abused me very badly. Every day I fight to survive the flashbacks and nightmares. The effects are devastating, and for me, it's lasted my whole life. I suffer because I can't trust anyone. I want to fight back. I want people to know it's wrong to abuse children.
Thursday, Sean Kemp and the Sonics were super as they shut down the Lakers in their series opener. Now, LA's out to draw even. The playoffs continue next on NBC.
59 and 2/10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. The Knicks and the Cavaliers are tied at 82. You see the timeout rundown. The Knicks are down to 1 left. Cavs have 3 and a 20. Only 7 on the 24. Hopper. Starks. 3 on the shot clock. Starks fires it up for 3. And a loose ball foul is called on Ewing. The Knicks over the limit, so Hill will go to the line. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, in that last time I had Mike Fratello, the only thing that he talked about was about stopping John Starks. And you can see the reason he was trying to do that, because Starks was the one that got that last shot off. Mark?
Ahmad and Tyrone Hill, only 3 of 6 at the line. And as we mentioned, a 66% free throw shooter, seeking to give the Cavaliers the lead. The game tied at 82. High Point men in the game. Phils with 19. Mills has 18. Ewing with 21. Starks with 19. Hill 3 for 7 from the line.
And you can see Tyrone Hill battling himself right now, just not feeling very confident. I felt on that last play the Knicks actually were looking inside to Anthony Mason.
So Hill able to line drive it home to give the Cavaliers a 1-point lead. 45 seconds remaining in the fourth. Starks, Ewing, and Hill in a battle. Ewing not able to hit. And Mark Price controls. We're down to a half minute remaining. 18 on the shot clock. And they'll try to use all of the clock. 10, no, Mills and hits. Mills with another 3. And the Cavaliers lead 86-82. Well, the Cavaliers from the bench were saying hold for 1, but apparently Chris Mills, man, had other ideas.
He has felt it all afternoon. He has been popping open on the weak side of the floor. As I think everybody a little surprised that he released his shot so quickly. John Williams finding Chris Mills wide open as Charles Smith way too late getting out on him.
And Chris Mills has hit his last 4 attempts from downtown. Mike Fratello watching the action. Yes, a little body English. The Cavs by 4 with 20 seconds to go.
NBC Monday, the Fresh Prince wedding is around the corner.
You want to do something tonight?
Unless Robin Givens has her way.
Hey, baby.
I was just talking! Then on the new hit, In the House.
Hey, Mama.
They're teaching Jackie to date again.
Come here often? I've got so much baggage.
Some guys like a little extra back there.
All new NBC Monday.
The Gold Rush continues for U.S. Olympic Festival 95 tickets. The best seats, the best prices, the best events are available now through all Ticketmaster locations. Charge by phone at 303-830-TIXS or rush on down to your local Ticketmaster outlet.
Don't miss the excitement of the 1995 U.S. Olympic Festival, July 21st through 30th. Brought to you by these platinum patrons. For tickets, call 303-830-TIXS. Go for the gold at the 1995 U.S. Olympic Festival.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Did you think the refinancing opportunity was over? Well, for a limited time, you can still refinance your home at today's rate of 7.95%. This 7.95 adjustable rate is available here at the Money Store, even if your credit is less than perfect. This special rate will be available as long as possible, but call now as this initial rate may change if rates go up. So to refinance at 7.95%, call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES.
That's all. Your Colorado's Best Chevy Geo Dealers Open House ends tonight. It's your last chance to save big with the lowest prices of the year. Price concessions have already been made on thousands of cars and trucks, and they're selling fast. Plus, today's the final day to get no payments till August direct from GMAC. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade. Don't miss final disposal prices and lower payments on over 1,000 new cars and trucks. This giant 72-hour open house ends tonight. Hurry to your Colorado's Best Chevy Geo Dealer.
Les Shapiro on News 4 Sports, weeknights at 10.
Knicks so aware of Mark Price on screen roll. The defense relaxed when he picked up the basketball. And both of these teams, when they have reversed it to the other side of the floor, have gotten good shots.
Chris Mills with 15 of his 21 points in the second half, bouncing back from a long night in game number 1 on Thursday. The Cleveland Cavaliers trying to put an end to an 8-game playoff losing streak. Their last victory in the playoffs, Game 5 against the New Jersey Nets in the first round in 1993. Since then, 8 straight losses. Cavaliers lead by 4. 20 seconds to go. And a call against the Knicks. Offensive foul on John Starks to give the ball back to Cleveland.
And Mike Fratello is saying they should be shooting on the play because the ball was not inbounded. Let's look at the top of the screen where John Starks, trying to free himself to get open, pushes off on Mark Price. And Mike Fratello felt that the foul was committed before the ball was inbounded and should be a two-shot foul. But that's usually when the defense commits that foul. That is clearly an offensive foul. No shots.
The Knicks are out of timeouts, so Cleveland back in possession. They lead by 4 points.
Hey, you!
Hugh Hollins guiding Chris Mills to center court. Question is, where do you...
Well, they have the choice. Cleveland has the choice of taking it wherever they want, where the point of the foul, which would be right about where Mike Fratello is standing right now, or they can take it up into the front court. Mike Fratello making the decision, more room to operate here in the backcourt, easier inbound pass.
And Mills gets it to Price. That's the man they wanted handling the ball because they want Mark Price at the foul line. So Charles Smith called for his 5th foul, and Price to the line with 18 and 8/10 seconds remaining. Game number 3 of this series will take place at the Gund Arena Monday night in Cleveland. And if the Cavaliers hang on here, there will be a Game 4 Thursday night in Cleveland. And there is Gordon Gund. Gordon Gund, as most NBA fans know, is blind, and he is listening to the game. He's listening to the play-by-play of the radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Joe Tate. The Cleveland Cavaliers with an 88-82 lead. About to tie the series at 1. Starks for Smith. Fires for the 3. Down to 10 seconds. And again, the Knicks give the foul. So the Cavaliers, who beat the Knicks here at Madison Square Garden twice during the regular season, are about to do it in the playoffs. And this is a Cleveland team that, coming into today, had dropped their last 11 on the road. They started the season as a good road club. They finished at 17 and 24. And the Cleveland Cavalier coaching staff able to make the adjustments coming off the embarrassment that took place here on Thursday night.
But that's what playoff basketball is all about. You can't worry about what happened the last game, good, bad, or indifferent. A lot of people will say the Knicks were complacent. They outdid the Cavaliers in a lot of areas. There's no way they could have matched what they did on Thursday night.
John Starks cuts it to 6. Final seconds. And that will do it. The Cleveland Cavaliers have tied the series at 1 with a 90-84 victory. A game that has seen a number of playoff records set, including fewest field goal attempts in a playoff game, 53 by Cleveland. Fewest field goal attempts in a playoff game, both teams combining for only 113 shots, and Cleveland finished up with an 11-0 run to end the game. Let's go to Ahmad, who will get a second crack at Mike Fratello, the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ahmad?
What a turnaround from the game on Thursday night. You guys came in today, tremendous intensity, and kept it through the second half.
That was the biggest thing, Ahmad. The fact that we came in today with a different approach mentally to the game. New York kind of stormed over the top of us in game 1. They've been there. They understand. Riles did a great job in having them prepared. Our guys kind of got set back on their heels. We're a little more prepared up here more than anything else for this game.
What does this do to your team confidence-wise, being able to beat the Knicks here at home?
This team was counted out from the beginning of the season. They've always believed in themselves. It's now trying to take it to another level.
All right, congratulations, Mike. All right, back to you, Marv.
Thank you, Ahmad. The High Point men, 21 apiece for Phils and Mills, 15 for Price. Again, the final score, Cavaliers 90 and the Knicks 84. For Matt Kukas and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Marv Albert. Now to Tacoma, Washington, Game 2 of our doubleheader. Let's go to Greg Gumbel.
Los Angeles Lakers